Are we live? I think we are live. Hello there and welcome to another Saturday, which means another live stream. And actually, quite a bit has been happening this week, especially around the May promos and everything else. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. First off, we have some brand new members to welcome to the channel. Gonk Rex from yesterday. There's no chance of seeing this. Let's bring up the desk camera because today we will be breaking down this ghost. But first off, Gonk Rex and Spider Holland 2013, welcome to Master Moldy's Members Monolith. That name's never going to get old. And if you would like to become a member, I do print these tiles. These are custom 3D printed tiles right here, and they are really, really good quality. A lot better than the ones from last year. Everyone from last year has got an updated plaque as well, and I'll be keeping this out for the entirety of the stream. But yes, the May gift with purchase. What's happening with that? We're no longer getting the escape pod with the 3 clone troopers, which, you know, could be good, could be bad. It depends really on if you really wanted that escape pod, which personally I'm not really too fussed we are not getting. I probably won't be bringing up the leaks because it's a lot of the same thing. It's a lot of the same posts over and over again. But like I said, that May 4th gift with purchase 40765 is no longer an escape pod. There'll probably be a short about this coming out in the next 24 hours or so. It's instead a Kaminoan KE8 Enforcer. Hello there, Ranger, popping up in the chat. Does anyone know what a Kaminoan KE8 Enforcer ship even is? We've got an image here on the Reddit, but I have no idea. I don't even know how to spell Kaminoan, if I'm honest. Kaminoan. Could have sounded that one out. An E8 Enforcer. E8, it was an E8 something, but E8 Enforcer, KE8, sorry, not an E8, a KE8 Enforcer. So this ship is pretty good for a gift we purchased, 190 pieces. Don't know how they're going to fit the 3 minifigures inside. I don't think we get any good look at the ship on the inside. And the Wikipedia page is short enough to tell me that it doesn't pop up too many times, but it does pop up in Battlefront 2 and in Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones was its first appearance, so this is going to be an easy day one. Got to get my hands on meeting that May 4 threshold, because Attack of the Clones, if you are new here, is my favourite Star Wars movie. Battlefront 2. Is this on the Kaminoan map? Because I don't remember piloting any of these on Battlefront. It has a nice little spotlight out front, which would be a really cool look of, a really cool use of one of those Lego light bricks. But we're not here today to talk about that. We are here today instead, as you've very, very briefly seen, to break down this ghost and turn it into a minifigure scale Phantom 2. You might think the Phantom 2 that is included in this set isn't too far off figure scale. This Phantom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 15 studs long. The minifigure scale Phantom should be 40 studs long. 40, not 14. This isn't too big. This, then this again, and then another half of this ship. So how we're going to do that, I have no idea. But we've got a load of Technic and a load of white plates inside the Ghost, which is still a really cool model. Look at all that interior space. Shame they didn't fill out the sides, but I guess we kind of did get access to the sides with these 2 ramps that come down. So you can definitely fit minifigures in there. But I think as I break this down, let's see what other leaks come out, because we did get quite a few. So we've got the Kaminoan May 4th gift with purchase, Sherlock Holmes, Icons, Dalmatians set. What about all the Star Wars ones? If you are interested in any of the non-Star Wars ones, feel free to throw them in chat. But I think we are going to probably focus and spend most of the time talking about the Star Wars ones. The Death Star actually got an update to, I'm just scrolling through all the May 4th ones. The Death Star got an update to the piece count. Instead of 9,019, it's 9,021. I don't know what those extra 2 pieces could be for. Perhaps they're a visor or maybe like a wand element that's been used and you haven't factored in the other piece. But I don't really know what to expect still with that UCS Death Star. That's a lot of pieces, and I don't see how Lego can make it make it work for a Lego set. For a model kit and for someone willing to spend that kind of money, perhaps grew up on Legos, yeah, I can see people spending that much money on it. But for people just wanting a Death Star to display, like with the Venator, a couple £100, fair enough. But someone in my comments, and I can't remember any names, I'm terrible with names, so please forgive me, said about the UCS 8080. So the UCS 8080 cost £600, and that retired. Let me angle the camera over a little bit. That might have retired at the end of last year. Might have ended. Yeah, I don't think it was too long ago. Last year. So the UCS 8080 retired, £600, quite a bit of money, and that is worth £2,000 new in box. So if a £600, I think 600, £700, I'm pretty sure it was around that price, is worth almost triple, or maybe even a little bit more than triple, that Death Star is going to be worth like an easy £5,000 a few years after. That being said, just because it's worth £5,000 doesn't mean someone's going to definitely spend £5,000 on it. It breaks my heart having to break down this Ghost. We didn't have to do this. We could have just built a Phantom out of other pieces, but I'm determined to build a Phantom using only pieces from this. And rather than just, you know, adding a long tail to the Phantom here, we are breaking it down and we are getting, basically building a Separatist shuttle in this stream. And I think this could be really useful for Clone Wars mocks in the future. Maybe even a few other mocks around the early Imperial era as well. But for a Death Star set to sell for, and sell enough, Lego is still trying to sell enough of these model kits, or however you want to see the giant Death Star, for £1,000 at retail. Good luck to them, because I don't exactly know who Lego's audience is. £1,000 for a Death Star, definitely not us, definitely not me, probably not you. Never know, you might be interested in it. And with 38 minifigures, I'll be intrigued to see if any of them, let alone many of them, if any of them are actually exclusive minifigures. I really cannot wait to get the minifigure count out for that. But I do have a little helping hand here in this tray. This tray is a hobby divider tray, 4 litres. If anyone was wondering how big this is, it doesn't feel like 4 litres, but it says 4 litres on the back, so we're going to go with that. I guess 4 litres flattened out. And this is hopefully going to help me organise the pieces as we put them away. I do realise we only have a small cockpit for this ship, and whilst it works in the little model, you can see we've got Hera just tucked inside. I think we might have to go we might have to go cockpit less for this model, because I just don't see a way of making this or any of the other window elements work. We've got one of these from the Resistance bomber. Why can't I think of any other ship that uses it? The A-Wing. We've got an A-Wing window there. We've also got an old TIE Fighter window here. This is from like the 2012 version on the inside there. Let me just remove this hilt. This doesn't come in the set, so let's not get confused and accidentally use it for a vital part of the structure later on. The way this was put together actually is really, really neat. Again, if you didn't see or weren't following the channel back when I did my review on this set, there is a neat feature at the front, maybe something we can try and bring across to the Phantom, where if you move the left and right Technic beam here, it moves the weapons at the front of the ship. Weapons at the front of the ship, the Phantom's got 2 little pistol bits just either side, so I'm not sure it's going to be too much helpful, but if we can implement that, that would be quite fun to store in. Speaking of May 4th, it is approaching. It's about a month away, about 5 weeks, just over a month, but it is sneaking up on us. Is anyone rock solid on what they're picking up for May 4th? Because I keep going to and fro, and to and fro, and back again with what I'm actually picking up. I've had my eyes on the Ark and the Eater, which are easy £100. And if we are sticking to the same threshold as last year, with 145 in here in the UK, 160 in America and in Europe, and you'll have to forgive me, I don't know any of the other thresholds, just yet, but there will be no doubt a video up when we get this all confirmed or leaked from lego.com. But that extra £45, hello there CT Productions, that extra £45 to spend, I definitely want a few of the key rings. Do we know yet if 3PO and R2, if those key rings are coming out May 1st, or are they coming out later on in the year? Because we've got official images of them, so I'm expecting to see them pretty soon. But the question is, how soon are we seeing them? Because, like I said when we talked about C3PO, I think a week or two ago now, I've got 6 minifigures that could do with a leg, and that's kind of close to 30 quid. And then I just need a little set to add on top, maybe a battle pack or so. Or do I go big and purchase that U-Wing? I think if I weren't picking up the Ark, I'd probably dive straight into the U-Wing. But that U-Wing, it's going to go on sale. It's going to be like the Bad Batch shuttle. I'm going to end up picking it up at full price. And in a couple of months, it'll be like a third off every store I walk past. But for Andor as well, this is the final season of Andor. They're wrapping up Andor, Rogue One, Catalyst, all the novels and that. I don't think we'll be continuing Andor's journey in the comics. Star Wars have a lot on their plate right now in terms of comic material. So it's tempting to pick up the U-Wing. Good news actually, with last week we were playing Battlefront here on the channel, and there was a lot of really good reception to not just Battlefront but playing games in general. So I might take another night onto streaming and play some games. Maybe we can play games on a Saturday, and then we'll move the Lego building streams to another week, because I think more people are around on Saturday for the games and the playthroughs. But I'll have various polls out on the community page over the week, over the next couple of weeks. So just keep an eye out for those and let me know. Would you rather have games on a Saturday? Would you rather be building? This is a very different stream, building a mock. A lot of the future ones I've got planned are a set or some form of set, because what you see by the end of this stream might not be what makes it to the video. It usually goes through some changes. I'm still working on a few of my older mocks. Instructions are starting to come out now, and I definitely want to play through Complete Saga, Skywalker Saga, Indiana Jones. Can't believe I didn't already have that downloaded on my computer. So we've got to play through that. Maybe Lord of the Rings as well. That could be a fun one for when the new Shire set is out, because I'm not spending enough to pick up that set. Well, at least no time soon, unless it's on a really good sale. You know, if I get 10 times, what do insider points get you off? 5-10%? If I can get 10-20% insider points and just get all the money back to spend on May 4th, maybe I'll be tempted to do that. It's not half a bad idea from Lego, just to give you back points for what you spend, overcharge you for something like the Death Star. Anyone that spends 1,000 gets £1,000 worth of insider points. There'll be a load of people purchasing it day one just for that, just to get their money back in points. I'm not sure how Lego would benefit off that. So my aim for this Phantom, this one right here, is 40 studs. Actually, looking at this master molding mat that we've got here, 40 studs is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and that again, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, look, just at the tip of the arm, the M, just at the tip of the M, that right there is 40 studs. That's how big the Phantom is going to be by the end of the stream. And to start it off, I think we work on the base. The base is pretty solid for this little model. I feel like we could do a bit better, but if we are increasing the length, at the minute it's about 15, so we're looking at 2 2/3. So the base of this core section of the Ghost, just in here, this base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're gonna need 2 2/3 times 4. That's not a very nice number to be working with. So we'll probably round it up to 10, double it is 8, and then add a little bit, but we want to slope it up as well. We could work with the 8 that we've got at the bottom of the Ghost and try to add some add some detail onto the outside, because the Phantom 2, or the shuttle that it originally was before the Rebels just absolutely kidnapped it, I'd like to point out. They just stole a shuttle, kind of anyone's for the taken. But the ship holds 4 pilots, 4 people in control of the ship in the cockpit, and 8 people in the back. Now, a Lego minifigure is about 3 studs wide, so if we do the math, that's a lot of studs. But if we start with 8 minifigures, 8 studs wide in the back, add a wall that reduces it to 6, that's 2 rows of seats and just enough space to get any extra troopers standing up in the middle in case we can't sit them all down on seats. We want at least 8 studs for seats, but looking at the 4 studs here, I think we can go up to maybe even 12. I think we can push 12 for the middle compartment, because you're really looking at all of this space, because the cockpit doesn't really start till there, and then we'll sort out the 4 studs later. But breaking this model down is going to be a lot more difficult than I think. I think popping off this middle plate will allow us to break down a lot of the Technic a little quicker, but really what I should be doing is working backwards through the instruction manual and trying to unbuild this the way I put it together. Though, as with all, we saw it with the 8080. I'm not sure if that was on stream. That might not have been on stream, but I definitely talked about it in the video of the many alternate builds we did with that model. Building a Lego set is not always meant to be unbuilt. It's a lot easier building it than it is to break it down, because when Lego designers are going through all the different sets that they're building, you know, as long as it can be built and it's sturdy enough, sometimes you have to sacrifice being able to mock it with it being sturdy, I guess. So a lot of the times you'll end up with a Technic pin that has a flat end and isn't able to be pulled out. But this is actually working not half bad. I think one of the easiest sets to pull apart was actually the 2017 Millennium Falcon, because I think that was when Lego started to add the hidden pins into Lego sets and make it a bit harder to do. That was that was almost too easy to break apart. All right, this back, both these engines just pop straight off, which is very, very nice to see. And then the rest of this doesn't seem to be held in by many Technic elements. A lot of this is just studded in with a few extra plates and tiles on top. These white 8x plates, oh, these are going to be very, very nice, especially for the base of the Phantom, because it saves us doing any extra detailing on the bottom. We don't have any underside tiles here that are in white or grey. I think there were, oh no, these were upside down. I don't think there are any underside tiles in this entire set. Alright, so we're going to need that plate. I never checked how long we're going to want it. So about 2.5 times. We can always furnish it with some extra pieces like we've done here. Hello there, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. 1, 2, 12, 2 and 2/3. It is a round number, so 32 studs for the base is quite nice. And that brings us, what have we got? We've got 8 studs here, so we want 4 of these. Let's see, we've got 1, we've got 2, and this would be really nice if it works out, because the cockpit's probably going to be a little wider, but it will allow the core to run straight through, and we can just add a little Mills Technic beam, I guess, running all the way through the middle. But I'm not sure if we've got another 6x8, and we did want 8 studs wide, didn't we? I think we up it to 10. If we up it to 10, we can get a beam either side. We just have to worry about connecting that later on, and then we've still got the length of the ship. I think that does work out easiest. So let's get that going. We've got a load of these 2x plates, but do we have a 6x8? Look at that, we've even got some in white and grey, so another grey one would be nice. And then maybe a 2x8 instead of these 2x6s. Any 2x8? Come on. Oh, 2x8 in tan. And because this is on a wing, we know it's symmetrical, so there's another one out there. Might even be a few looking at this ship. So, if we use, Should white be the front or back? I think white should be the front. Grey should be the back. So we're looking at a base something like this, which just goes to show, you know, how small this base is compared to what we're working on. Massive. Absolutely massive. Just have to find that other wing now. Here we are. I've been thinking with the May Gift with Purchase and them doing Clone Cadets and Attack of the Clones, clearly Lego realised how many clones we can collect. I mean, I've got a Clone Wall here, like 100 odd clones. I don't know exactly, but it feels a lot more than that. Will we be getting... We got droids last year. The year before we got Aunt Beru's kitchen, which has dropped down. It is a bit of a shame that that's dropped down in value so much. Well, maybe not on Bricklink and sites like that, but just generally on the internet, people selling it for £20–30 as it approaches May 4th, just to get that extra little bit of money. I did think, because it comes with the exclusive Aunt Beru, that I'm not even sure we've had another Aunt Beru. We might have once, but that was a long time ago. It's interesting it hasn't held its value. The original 2014 Phantom would be one of the oldest sets that you have fully intact. So shocking, that pin jumped. That's, to be fair, besides the first set that I have that is still built and in an acrylic case, I think having any of the older sets, we had the TIE Fighter for quite some time. The oldest set, 2014 is a long time ago. That's over a decade. That is, must hold up, to be fair. With Thrawn, Kanan and Chopper. Still need to get me a Kanan minifigure. I might just have to have a look, see if there's a cheap one on Bricklink. Got the Ghost that Christmas 11 years ago. 11 years ago this Christmas. That's crazy. 2014. I think 2014, if I remember, was... Everyone has like a dark period from Lego. I'll be honest, I was still getting Lego throughout... I don't think there was a year I didn't get a Lego set, but there were a few years where I didn't get a Lego Star Wars set. The Ghost, the Phantom, and a lot of the other Rebel sets, because I was really into Rebels, I would have loved to have picked up. Similar, actually, to Rogue One and with Solo. I got the Falcon for Force Awakens and Takodana, and then I think I must have got one or two Last Jedi sets, and I don't think I got any of the Rise of Skywalker ones. I think I picked up a few for myself, but that's impressive. 11 years to have a set still built. To be fair, with the TIE Fighter and the other set that I say I still have built, we rebuilt them on the channel last year, so technically I haven't still got them built. I did go back and rebuild them, but 11 years is impressive for a Lego set. Lego sets do not last anywhere near that with me, because I'm always breaking them to build some sort of mock. And I might not need to break them down. That's the thing, actually. I might not need to break them down to get the piece. I might have the piece elsewhere, but I know it's in that set, so I have to break down that set. Now, to complete the Ghost with Sabine, had to wait for the Speeder that released in January. Those were the days when, to complete a crew, like the Rebel crew, the Rebel faction with Sabine Hera and that, you had to wait for minifigures to come out in future sets. Nowadays, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're as hopeful nowadays. Could you imagine if Lego just never... For Sabine, for instance, imagine if Lego just never released a Sabine minifigure. I know they released 3 or 4 different variants, but imagine if they didn't. Imagine, like with the Bad Batch, we technically got an Empire crosshair, but we never got a Bad Batch crosshair. And/or we are missing a ton of minifigures, and Lego have chosen to give us another Andor with the second set. We got Luther, we got Cyril, and now we've got Dedra. But we've still yet to get someone like Mon Mothma for a while. Saw Gerrera, anniversary minifigure, a bit cheekier Lego, not needing to put him in a set. Imagine not getting an import. I'm trying to think of any other sets, because we got the Kenobi set with Kenobi, Vader, the Imperial, and then the robot as well. I feel like there were a few minifigures missing from that. Look at this solid core of the Ghost. I guess it'd be a bit like the Slave One releasing without a little Boba Fett. It's not too important, but This Ghost, we got... Who did we get with this Ghost? Hera, Chopper, Jason. We did get Jason as well. Can't remember anyone else. And hopefully what these pieces can do is start to line up something like that. But the old Ghost and Phantom is what made me... I'd say this whenever I get a lot of the sets that LEGO have done in the past. Thankfully, I owned the first Yoda Starfighter, so I could pass on that one. But the first Ghost ship from 11 years ago is what made me pick up this ship 10 years later. And I cannot promise that I won't be building this in a couple of months' time, rebuilding this set in a couple of months' time because I miss it so much, or one reason or another. I'm sure I'll make up some excuse to rebuild the Ghost. Maybe it pops up in the Mandalorian movie or something like that. But the Ghost made me pick up the new Ghost. The old AT-TEs and the old gunships made me pick up the new AT-TEs and gunships. The first UCS Slave 1 made me pick up that 20th anniversary because I thought that was the closest we'd get. And here we are, 6 years later, with a UCS Slave 1 in Django's colours. Still, probably wouldn't have picked this one up had I held out, but it is nice to see that LEGO do revisit a lot of sets that are popular. But yeah, imagine not getting Sabine in a set later on and just having to turn to customs. I don't think I would have even turned to customs with them, mind you. Right, we've got a nice pair of glasses here. It does look like glasses, actually. No one said we were serious on the stream. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So we've got a nice pair of glasses. Let me bring that up full screen. Nice pair of glasses here. There we go. And what this is going to do is hold the plates on top. I guess you'll see it as we go through it, but I do like breaking down what I'm doing just in case you are following along at home, and just hold together everything else. We're going to do this on both the front and back side, and I don't know if we should put these underneath or on top. On top, we could then decorate a few seats on top of it, but underneath, we wouldn't have to refloor it, and we could also try and get some landing gear for the Phantom. Just little landing gear, little Technic piece that we've got spare or something like that, that will turn in and support the ship when it is landing. No one said we had to be serious on this stream. LEGO is fun. And we've got a load to talk about with leaks. I still feel like there was a lot more news coming out. Maybe a lot of theorizing and a lot of different questions out there with ships like the Slave One. I thought there was a lot more that we had to talk about in this stream other than an updated part count. Oh, what we could do... Wait. Why is this not adding up? Is this meant to be... Is this meant to be on the side? Maybe. I might not have been paying too much attention to that. There we go. So I add these. I'm not entirely sure how far forward, because we've got four pilots. A bit like the Mantis, I guess, with the 2 seats and the 2 benches, or like the Falcon with the 4 seats. A lot of these ships have 4 different controls. I guess you've got someone to pilot, someone to plan, someone to run diagnostics, and someone to power the weapons, someone to... I don't really know. I guess power the weapons. Yeah, the weapons, you don't want to be doing that and flying. A lot of us do in Battlefront and games like that, but Star Wars universe, if they don't have to, I guess they don't have to. Might come back and reinforce that if we've got a few more pins later. This also helps if we are able to break it down, which I think I'm going to completely forget that we've got so many studs in there and just tile it up together. But if we are able to break it down, that could be quite nice just for transportation if we are ever going to take this mock anywhere. Hello there, Solo Vidon. Enough, so all the main characters have something to do. Exactly. You've got your Chewie, Han, Luke, and Leia, or Kenobi. You've got your Hera, Jason. I guess Zeb's off. Sabine is also away in Peridia with Ahsoka. You've got Hera, Jason, Ezra, and then whoever's accompanying them on the mission. I guess that makes sense for the Phantom 2, just to don't know why they wouldn't be in the Ghost, but the Phantom 2 has enough seats. We've also got some really nice controls here. These are stickered elements. Yeah, I don't think we got any printed pieces in this, but they are nice stickered elements on these 1x4 panels. So these will definitely be going to position 3 and 4. Don't think I'll be sticking them right up front. But the Ebon Hawk in KOTOR, did that have 4? Did that have 4 seats? Because I remember, oh yeah, because we would sit on the back, whichever character we were. Don't want to spoil it for too many peeps here, but yeah, there'd be 2 pilots, and then the player sat behind, so there must have been 4 seats in that. Oh, hadn't thought of that. There really are 4 seats. I know in Legends, if you've read books like The Splinter of the Mind's Eye, there are 2 seats in X-Wings, A-Wings, and there's also room underneath for a little cooling pack. The Arc 170 has room for 3 clones. I'm sure there's some modified... Does it fit the droid? Is there a droid? I don't think there is a droid in an Arc 170. I feel like there should be. But there's definitely room for 3 clones and a droid. There's your 4. The droid running diagnostics, 1 clone on the gunner, and 2 clones fly in and planning out the next jump to light speed. Wow, there really are 4 seats in everything. These are quite nice, these orange 2x6s. There was also, it wasn't orange, it was like dark medium orange that I picked off another set. And so much for this parts drawer. I have put these everywhere. It doesn't look like there are, I guess we've got engines on the side of this. Let's take Thrawn off Chopper's body and give Chopper back his body, because these are the 3 minifigures. Like I said, I don't have a Kanan, and Hera's much more topical to Ahsoka because of Kanan in Rebels. So this is our Ahsoka Phantom 2 minifigure selection. We got these 3, though I'm going to be pulling out a few more characters later on, especially Jason, Ezra. Oh, we've got to think of maybe even Zeb. Maybe Zeb in his blue costume. See you, Daniel. Maybe even Zeb in his blue New Republic costume, taking on like the Gunners or something like that. We'll see later on. Once we got this built, hey, we've got some undertiles. Some 2x2 plates with the nice rounded off bottoms. So not really sure what we're using these for, but they're going to come in handy, no doubt. We do have 2 sides here, which I feel like, I know they climb up into the ship through the Ghost, but do they climb up? Yeah, they must climb up. Let's see if we can get an image of Phantom 2. What was the original name of the Phantom 2 is a real plane. All right, we're going to have to add Star Wars to that. It was a modified Sheathipede class transport shuttle. Separatist transport, that's what it's known as. Yeah, Separatist transport shuttle. There doesn't seem to be much of anything on the side of this. This is just going to be like some sort of grey blob if we were to build this. So happy we're taking the... making it hard for ourselves, trying to take the pieces from the Ghost. But that being said, we do have plenty of colours to work here. And perhaps... it's definitely asking too much if we brick build this. We might have to copy across the sticker, but we do have a lot of orange. We don't have any... oh, we have a bit of red. That's about the... that's about as much red as we've got. We do have a printed tile there for the cockpit. So let's put that aside as well. And it doesn't look like we have any 8x6s, which might throw a spanner in our works just a little bit. But I have seen quite a few of these 4x6s, which double up. 2 4x6s is an 8x6. So I guess maybe we can have this ramp. Do we want a ramp that actually opens up? I feel like the Phantom 2 lands and then the back opens. This little doorway here opens up. So I'm not too fussed about having any form of ramp for our characters to go up and down. They can just hop in the back. And if that's not true for this one, it definitely was for the other Phantom. So we're keeping a little bit of one in there. Just not sure which one we're using. Reinforce that. And once we've got the base held together, I'm hoping we have enough hinges to pull off some really fancy arc work. Right, probably should have dusted down a few of these. I didn't think it was that dusty. Oh, we got a third window as well, similar to the dome piece in the 4 Plus Mandalorian N1 shuttle. But that's not what we want. We want the 4x6, which hasn't been freed yet. There we go. Oh, and the 2x, the grey 2x. We have a few light grey ones. Maybe it'd be better to swap it out. No. Oh, that's too long. We need one a little shorter than that. Ah, too long. Didn't think that existed when it comes to mock building. Could move it over, detail the floor just a little bit, save it from being blocked out. Because we've got a few of these. Right. Let's make sure we don't pop off too much. Just enough. And the base is done. Let's get working on this. So we've got some of these ramps from before that can create a nice angle on it. I don't want to curve the bottom and make it lead up to the front. That we could do with some wedges. But I also don't think these are going to hold the entire thing. We've got a load of hinges to support. Oh, do we have a load of hinges to support? We've got a load of clips. This is why I brought out this tray, by the way, so that I didn't have to be rummaging through everything. Let's get an image of the shuttle up. You know what, it might be easier if I bring the shuttle onto the screen so that you can see it too. Sorry, Kanan, you've got to go. Let's switch out Kanan for the... That's a massive shuttle. All right, we don't want it that big. Let's switch it out for... That is massive. This is what we are trying to build. And maybe straighten it out. We don't need it wonky. This is what we are trying to build. You see what I mean with the front of it being a bit angled but also rounded off. It's going to be interesting how we get that to be. And I wish I could flip the image. Don't know how to do that. But we've also got the sides a bit maybe exposed. Maybe we leave a little bit more open than the rest. Even with the Phantom 2, it seems to have some sort of exposed sides, or maybe they've even been clipped off all in all. And then we've got the giant fin up the back. So we're going to need some supports with it, but we could always bridge it with Technic just on the top. Right, 40 studs. How much do we have to work with? Because the back is going to be a few studs off. Let's leave, what's the smallest slope? We got 2x3, so let's leave at minimum 3 studs. And this is where having a desk mat that matches up to Lego scale comes in so handy. So if you have a desk and are looking for a mat, I urge you to consider buying my own, not just because it is my own, but also because it does line up to Lego scale. So I can tell you we've got 3 studs at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's push it back 1. So we have a nice even number. 6 studs at the front and 2 at the back. The ship that the Phantom was in episode 3. That's a good point. It was also on Utapau in the final battle before Order 66 with the 212. Yes, on Utapau, because it's what the Separatist leaders used to fly over to Mustafar. But we don't see the ship on the Mustafar landing platform. So it must have they must have stranded the Separatist leaders there on purpose. That's either a complete oversight and the team at Lucasfilm just didn't think of putting the ship. Maybe there was another landing platform closer. Anakin, being the drama queen that he is, does like to have those long marches, capes flowing and, you know, lightsaber igniting to scare off the rebels. But I wonder if that's an oversight, or I wonder if they've thought of that and made the droid ship, which no doubt is controllable from elsewhere, leave Mustafar so that the Separatists had no escape. That's pretty dark. No problem, CT. See you next week, where we will be building the Slave One. That's right. I tend to not leave what we're building next week a secret for long. I think it's already up on the channel, actually. We are building the Slave One, the 20th anniversary, and improving it because I've built it in Django colors already and destroyed the actual whole of the ship. But I am looking to get a few more parts bit closer to what we saw for the 20th anniversary, break down whatever monstrosity I've built in the last couple of years and put it together how Lego want it to but so that it resembles Jango Fett's Slave One, arguably the original Slave One, instead of Boba's, which I wonder how, because the playset later on this year is rumoured to have so many more pieces, I wonder how LEGO are going to go about that. Because we got the MIDI Scowl Boba Fett with the original Cloud City, the giant set. And then we got, I think the second one was the one we got as its own set. I don't think we got one between that. And now we've got a similar size. We don't know a similar size. It's a bit pricier, but around the same ballpark, no doubt, with a few extra pieces. And I don't think LEGO are going to make it, you know, a stud bigger in every direction, or a couple studs bigger in one dimension. I think LEGO are just going to increase the parts used to make it look even more detailed. We're basically getting a MIDI scaled, the displays with the Falcon, the Venator, the Acclamator, the Invisible Hand. We're basically getting that, but as a Slave One later this year with a minifigure able to fit inside, which is kind of all playset is really. So if LEGO can take the detail they put into the more expensive adult sets, whack them into playsets, I think they've got a very nice medium for sets to come. A load of these Technic bricks, we're going to have no struggle with supports, are we? Alright, let's start building up. Finally found a pair of clips. Yeah, let's go. So, with that non-clippy, I don't know what these are called. These are Technic connectors, the ones that clip every so often. With this and the hinges, we can place one of these in the middle. What's the ratio of back to cockpit? We're going to want some studs left on the front. Right, we've got two out the back for the fin, and then I think we decided that this side would be the front of the ship. So if we move that, two studs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the back. We can have some sort of plate down here just holding on. Well, maybe the blue one will look better on the base. Add another little bit of colour. Maybe even one over in case we want to tile that down. Now we need to figure out how wide we want these backs. Definitely want them 6, 7, 8. 2 2/3. Should we push 9? We could push 9. 5, 9, 18, and 24. And then that leaves, I think that does leave a sizable cockpit. Let's put some clips down. But then we are making this room for 8 minifigures. Even if that is 4 minifigures, 4, 4, 4. That's 10 minifigures. And we are trying to fit 8. But the cockpit's going to be massive. Maybe we should add a little ramp up. Maybe a few more controls. 10 minifigures is a lot. How can we design the chairs? Because it is basically a bench. Guess we've got the walls, so we're bringing them in one. So we've got 4 and then a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a gap. And I can't remember how many 4s I said. Maybe even bring it 1 in because of that extra gap. Let's see how that goes. We've got a very spacious cockpit. Room enough for more than 4 people, but we only have to fit 4. And then we can get, we want these face, oh no, we don't want them facing the same way, but about in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we would have an odd seat, yeah. That makes sense. And then we just want to flip these. Kabing. Kaboom. I do wish LEGO revisited a few more sets less frequently, and then more frequently long term, less frequently short term, like with the Falcon. Maybe getting a Falcon episode 7 and 9 was a good thing, but I feel like we could have gone with one sequel trilogy Falcon and then got an original trilogy Falcon maybe towards the end, because we did get the dish. Could we have got Lando in a desert patroller? 100% we could. Could we have got Spulio's head mold in a conference room. That's dark. That's maybe a bit too dark for Lego, but we could have. It is possible. That's it's almost as dark as when we were building the Jedi Temple. Got a load of snot bricks, but panels. 2 there. A load of these 1x4s. Keep them coming. 1x4s? 4x. Not 1x4s. 1x4s wouldn't help us very much when building this. That's for sure. Yeah, I think the sorting tray's kind of gone out the window. Try and put a few little bits in there. Alright. 1 4x. How long is it? Long enough to stretch? Oh, it's too long. Is it too long? No, it's not. It sticks out just enough, but we run into a problem. Oh, no, I've secured this in awkwardly. Yep, no problem here. Lovely jubbly. We almost run into a problem, but problem resolved. Problem avoided, more so. Right. So flip these, and these clips just act as little supports on either side. We don't want them to be holding much of the weight. That's going to go towards the middle clips, but we do need those clips there to. Oh, we got some black undertiles as well. Sure, they'll come in handy for this bit. We do want those clips there because without them, you're putting too much pressure. So the hinges will only move in one axis of motion. A little short about that out recently. And what that means is the hinges will only move this way. So by locking them into that middle clip, you're stopping any other movement trying to break down the Lego pieces and potentially snap them. Because we are building quite a sizable wall, there is a lot of space for different pieces to snap off, bend, and we don't want any of our bricks cracking. Not for this build, not for any build, mind you. Right. Now, what angle? They are not level, are they? Sometimes it helps to just see it through a camera. Oh, I guess they are. They definitely don't look level, especially with the shadows. But what this allows is... What does this allow? I've lost my track. I thought we had 4 of these. I assumed 4 segments. I think I was wrong. I think we've only got 2 of these, so we might have to whip something together. How wide do we need it? 2 shorter than this. So, we don't need it as long as this. We could use some wedges. Especially given so many, but they might be better elsewhere. Right. Aha! We need something this long, don't we? Yes. Do we have more? This is a 2x10 element. I know I've got more behind me, but that defies the point of making this an alternate build. Do we have more? Do we have more in this set that I can steal? I can borrow. Like I said, I'll probably end up rebuilding this, so I'm borrowing them for the time being. But we said about that extra stripe. You see just below me down here, we've got that extra stripe where the fin stops. How long do we want the fin? The fin's hanging over by 2 studs on the back. We've got about 7-ish, so maximum 20 studs. We can't push 20 studs with it. I'm going to go for slightly lower than that, maybe 16, 14 studs. And so far that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We could push 20. And the reason I'm inclined to push 20 is because we have a little bit of overhang at the back and a little bit at the front, which will give us room to play around with detail on a bigger scale. But we can also use these 4x6 panels to fill a little bit of the sides. We also want to get the engines there. Do we have... We kind of have the 4 engines, quite big engines for quite a big ship. but by placing these in, which way do we want to place them? Studs down, studs up. I think studs down works because I might plan something in the top half of this build. So if we can overhang that, there we go. Studs down, looking good, and then studs down again on the other side. We can have some grey pieces, maybe even an airlock. I am arguing working in an airlock. There isn't one in the original build. Could we make it look... There isn't one, is there? Could we make it look like there should be one? Of course we can, but should we? Alright. So... we don't really want any pieces in. Oh, I don't think it's too bad. We could try and add an airlock in. Maybe even shortening it just a little bit. Is this meant to go down? There we go. So we could add a little airlock in just for ease of transportation, easy to get in and out, rather than keep using the back ramp, but it's not really needed. We could, I think we keep it grey for now. If we want to add an airlock in, we can always come back and do that. Maybe this can work as one of the engines, in all honesty. But I do think for the engines, we use what we've been given. There's a few hot dog pieces as well. That's going to come in handy later. So we're going to need, I guess we're probably going to need some more of these clips, bars, and similar elements. Oh, we do have more Technic clips. This one I'm reserving for the back door right away. We're keeping that one for the back door. And a load of bars. Where are these bars connecting to? Got some more clips here. A lot of clip and bar elements in this set. I didn't realise there were so many. Are they different? Is this going to be like Technic and the different colours have different grips? And I shouldn't be using certain colours in certain spots, but it's fair enough to use whichever clips we want for the front here, because we got pieces like this. Actually, we got the light grey and dark grey and light grey, all in different lengths. We got 3 different lengths here that we can use to combine the backs. Maybe the shorter one would work out. It's hard determining which one I want to use, because you use the longer one now and need it later. It's very hard for fragile elements to, you know, piece together the short ones. Vice versa, use the shorter one now and use the longer one now and use the shorter one now and need it later. You can't just chop up a piece. But I think we're gonna push forward with, I think this is the second shorter one, isn't it? We got one shorter one. Whichever one I find first, I think we're going to use that one and then see if we regret it later on. Only time will tell. Right, here are the 3 lengths. Are there no other? Did I just get one of each? Have we been scammed? Oh look, 2x8s in black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are a dime a dozen. We're going to use those instead. After all that, we switched up the pieces. Let's get these clipped on. We've got some grey bar elements. We've got some black bar elements. We've got a lot of grey, so I'm going to favour using those in place of the black ones. And again, just hope we don't regret that later on. Maybe we can have an extra little compartment in the middle between the 2 sets of seats. Maybe that will help space things out a little bit. And we want to go 4x4. We have the pieces for 4x4. And 2 2/3 of 1 isn't quite 4, so I don't think we should push our luck. I think we should go 4x4 and round off the front. Well, actually, we've only got one 4x4 piece. Maybe we can't even do that. Now we got 2x4s, that'll do. I'm not sure grey is going to be too valued of an element in this build. Do we actually have no more 2x4s? Or is there one? Not one we can nab from here, is there? No. I guess instead of 2 2x4s, we're going to need 3, because we're going to need one to support it as well. Good thing we got a few of them. So 1, 2, 3, just like so. I thought that was one of them. 1, 2, got one with a few holes in. A few more of these clips. They'll be used for the... Oh, can't use those for the back door. They don't line up. 1, 2. Where's number 3? 2 by 4? No, 4 by 4. 4 by 6. Right. It's an odd amount of pieces we've got here. I like going into this blind not knowing what pieces I've got, because it makes it more interesting when we find something that just magically fits, like we saw with the door. Finding an element like that, there's just no better element for it. Here we go, 2 by 4. Just on the side there. Might need to add a few different not the door rails, but something like that to fill the gaps, because what this ship leads us with at the minute is some really nasty gaps at the bottom, and we could tile them off. We still need to work out the bottom as well, but I think we'll leave that till last. We'll see what pieces we've got. Let's build up the rest of this ship. This is looking massive at the minute, and I mean the ship itself does build out a little like that. And then we've got some legs. Oh, the landing gear comes out the side. So let's see. I think the landing gear isn't too important. I'm pretty sure the rails crash off the landing gear almost straight away. So let's see what we can do around it now. We've got these quite nice step ups, which I know can be built with other Lego bricks, but we could use the tension, use the force they can hold to our advantage. Greys, dark greys, all different shapes and sizes. And then we got some wedges. This is what we want to use at the front. Maybe even make them go out all the way. The front of the ship does seem to go out slowly but surely. But what we can do is speed it up just a tad, just a little bit. Hey, it landed straight in the tub. Speed it up just a little bit and try to get it to match with this other side. I think we might have to steepen it just one click, which we can do by holding the middle of it. And that might be one click too much. We'll see what other wedges we've got, which other wedge elements, but we still haven't connected the 4x4s, the two 2x4s. Tongue twister and a half. There we go. Connecting those, and we do need to reinforce that middle bar just to make sure it doesn't keep popping off like that, both on the actual ship and on the wings. Right, a few nice 1x2s. And now we've got the main body bit done. How are we going to go about working the roof? Chairs we can worry about last, because we've got a few nice coloured pieces dotted around. Probably going to be like brown or a mixture. We need to work on supports. We had a few 2x2 bricks and a lot actually of these step pieces. So maybe between a few, maybe we can have like 2 seats, and then we can run something like this up, because that will hold, and then we can double it. Just like that, and we'll need an extra row of studs. What we can try between. I don't know how much space we've got. Not enough. Oh, we need 3 studs less. That's a nasty number, that. We don't like working with those. We could always just run a plate behind it. There we go. Something like that. You can see where the gap is. We could put a plate just like that and cap it off. But I'm not entirely sure the best way to do this and to get it looking good, because we've got that odd amount of studs. This is what I think is the best way. That doesn't mean it is, not yet. Not till we've tried more. Right, let's get some of these. Let's get some of these smoothing off. We could slide it up one. Yeah, let's. Oh, light grey, dark grey. I thought they were all the same colour. Clearly not. These can also work as quite good headrests. But it would help if we had some slopes to keep this down. I think yes, we do have some. Some in white. So just for now, I'm going to slope them down so we can bend these hinges without having to worry. Without having to worry about that. Without having to worry about pieces flying off. What, the third time today? Did it not clip down? There we go. No problem. But we don't want these 1x8s here. These are quite literally a dime a dozen, which means we have an abundance of them. So we can just put them all over. Some grey at the back. I'm going to be very interested to see how we work the back. Because I haven't thought of it yet. So it's a surprise to me as well. But what I'm thinking of doing is working. Which way would it be? No, because we'd need it going out. So we'd need it upside. Oh, where's our 1x? There we go. Nice orange colour as well. And that would be too far out. So we can flip it. Do we have a nice 1x2? So we can flip these bricks upside down. We'd need a jumper. And I think this is starting to complicate things real fast. Yeah, because then we can't fit it there either. We'd just be able to fit 2 of those. But not only can we fill the back using this very intricate technique, I don't really know where to begin explaining this. So we've got a jumper tile, this brown one on the bottom, holding in a bar element on a 1x2. Then attached to a 1x1 with a clip with an inverted, well, it's actually a 1x2 by 2 bricks tall slope element. It's not inverted, it's just clipped upside down. And that works perfectly. And I was against this from the moment it left my mouth. And the more I'm talking about this, the more perfect it seems. If we attach these black hinge pieces in, it actually holds our door up as well. I think this is perfect. This is what I meant when I said the pieces just fall into place. We've only got 4 here. We will need to add some sort of hinge as the door and really secure this in, because this is not secure at all. Or we could just flat out use not a 4x8. No, a 4x6. We could just flat out use a 4x6 and fit that as the door. Clipping it above it gives it that extra space for the ramp to open. That's looking quite good actually. I didn't expect that to happen so quickly. And then we've got 3, maybe we can push for 4. Oh, we've got a nice little slope. There you go. We can push a little slope in there and get 2 1x1s. How many 1x1s do we get in a playset nowadays? They don't seem to be all too common. Even better, we get the 1x1 by, showing the wrong camera, 1x1 by 2 plates tall bricks, and they are what we need here. Literally made for this occasion. When Lego doesn't want to stack 2 plates on top of each other. I don't think there's a benefit to using them in this instance, but we are going to take advantage of them nonetheless. We want to be doing the same the other side as well. So let's get these clips and bars, because I always start off building symmetrical. And with the Venator, when I turned the Acclimator, this year's Acclimator, into the Venator, I very quickly realized I was not doing what I was hoping to do. And instead of building symmetrical and making sure it all looked good, I had somehow pulled basically all the pieces from the 2 wings of the Acclimator into 1 wing of the Venator. So it looked really, really nice and was a lot bigger than I expected, but I could only display it from 1 angle, which is a fun take to take when you're building mocks, because if you are displaying from 1 angle, it's very handy to steal the pieces from the other side. But when, like me, you wanted a 360 model with a little detailed interior, yeah, it doesn't work out that well. And then we can start building it up at the back. This is going perfect. I don't even know if we can fill all this interior space we are creating, but there will be a way. There's a will, there's a way. And it will be done. Way ahead in the future. A load of these 2x3, which is nice. We've already got what? 4 in the tank, another 2, and there should be another 2 down here somewhere. That's 8. And they're going to come in handy later on. Oh, and another one in the middle here. Oh, maybe that's got another symmetrical bit. Some tiles. What are we looking for? We're looking for, what's this? Some of those white slopes here. I think we only need 2 for here, but we might make use of those again later on. Make sure that's... Is that folded? It looks to be alright. Yeah, there we go. That's folded up. And then we need an extra row of studs on top. So we're going to want the engines just outside here. Do we connect the engines to the wing or to the support? I think we need to connect them to the support, so we can just add a few tiles onto this to hold it in place. Maybe even use some like 2x4s or something like that. We can always get rid of those if we do add some tile supports. Oh, and also we pop off this 2x8 that's holding everything together very, very carefully, and just add 1 row of studs. There we go. We've got some support for the top, so we need how many more studs? 2 less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do we have any 1x10s? What are these grey ones? Why do you look bigger than all? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. The new number bet here on the Master Moldy channel. Lego builds would be massive. So instead of a 1x10, we could use a 1x6, 1x4, or 1x8 and a 1x2. Put that 1x2, unless it's a slope. If we have any 1x2 slopes, really come in handy. Find those now. Maybe our best bet, because I've seen so many, is the 1x6s, and then try to find some 1x4s. There we go. That was much easier. Oh no, the 1x1 that's too tall. Oh, we'll come back to that in a minute. Completely forgot about that. Right. Need to do the same to the other side. Don't ping, don't ping. There we go. One, two, and 3. Oh, this is shorter. It's not the one I wanted. Now, this is where I find out we only had 1 of those white plates that I'm using, and I've used it on one side of a symmetrical, or trying to be a symmetrical build. Oh no, look, here we are. We could have parted it out, no need to when we found the piece, and the piece fits perfectly in there. Let's add those 2x4 pieces, those elements for support, and we are, it doesn't look as big on camera when you've got a load of other pieces around, but we are slowly filling this out. And I did pick up a 1x8. There's a few of these 1x8s in white laying around. Not that I can show you where any of them are. They've escaped now that I've mentioned. These 2 are still built. There was definitely 1. Look, 3 that are still built, so it must have been the other wing that I took down. This can fit not only over this hinge. Could we get something over this hinge as well? That would be pretty cool. Right, so we want it there. We could, I think instead, we try to appreciate all the different functions we've got here. Do we have any 1x1s that are a specific colour, a bit like this. So on the original Ghost model, Lego uses these yellow 1x1s where there is some sort of play feature. Because these are very important, it's a very important hinge, maybe we can add one of these to either side. Doesn't really mean anything in our mock, but it just goes to show, you know, that very important. Here we are. Here's the 1x8 piece I was talking about earlier. Put that with the other one. And now we need a 1x4 tile. Seems like we got a few of those. But what do we put at the bottom? How do we hold it on? We could use more of those 2x4s in tan. We have a few of those, and I've been using those for everything else. So why stop now? And then here's another one. These pieces are flying to me. All right. As far as the other side, we can't really do much more for that. So we're just going to use one, maybe two. No, one's good enough of these door hinges, just to fill up the little gap in there. There we go. So the back of this model's already coming together. We just need to find, remember ages ago when I was looking for the 1x1 that's 2 plates tall. Yeah, I completely forgot about that and moved on pretty quickly. So now let's try and find that element in our organized mess. This is fun. This is really, it might not look it if you're not into mock building, but rummaging through some broken down ships, you know, not even just parts. We've got little builds that are halfway through being broken down. This is really fun to try and find that one element that you're looking for and eventually maybe replace it because you oh look, I was about to give up, and there it is, beacon of light. And as we build up, maybe one more plate on top. Should we add a little white stripe? Let's add a little white stripe. As we build up, maybe we can even have it coming in. Do we not? Do we want anything on the back? I don't think there's really much to add on the back. Maybe we just keep the back of it grey for now, just so it might not look accurate. A lot of these pieces can be recolored. We can make the whole of this white pretty much, and it wouldn't look far off. Definitely need a few yellow bits around the outside. But if we stick, wait, are we sticking with white or grey? I've got the white pieces, but I think we should be sticking with grey. Let's make it interesting. Add some rounded plates, 1x2 rounded plates on top of these bricks, and then we can start building even further out. All right, get these bricks to go one out to the left, one out to the right. Find a brick for the middle. How big's this door? Do we need to add one of the snot bricks that will cover a gap? Oh, does this door close fully? It doesn't, which means one of two things. We're either going to have to shorten the ramp, which isn't a problem as long as we've got some 2x white plates, tiles even. Any 2x white tile. We've got a load of 2x1. That's not entirely what I meant. I'll settle for it if I have to. Maybe even this nice green colour, because it doesn't show up anywhere else. Not too far from the mat, actually. Definitely different. Definitely a lot different in person. But that could work. And then that'd get rid of the studs that we had before. We're going to need to hold that down a little more. Let's get some more jumpers. I had a lot of them a second ago. 2x jumpers. Alright, I didn't have a lot of them. We've got a load of 3x. But we need like a 1x4 jumper, which is just 2 1x2 jumpers side by side. Definitely got on which part? There we go. There's one. Alright, it's in black, so that makes it a lot harder to find. Now I know what colour we're looking for, because there's a lot of black elements. Not as many white, but there is a lot of black elements. So I guess it could have been white. It could have been worse. There might also only be one of these, unless there are more on the engines. Don't think so. Right, while we wait for that, we can always put one of them down just to help support the ship a little bit more. And we might have to also connect those to something leading off from it. We've got a 1x5. Don't know if that, or what we can do is put to use those many, maybe we can save the chairs even, the brown ones for chairs, and put to use these many grey 1x3s. 1, 2, that work? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, don't break now. Not done with you yet. And then get a slope. I don't think we had any slopes when we looked for this earlier, actually. I'm remembering now. We didn't have any slopes earlier on. No problemo. Let's find something else. You think this is how a Lego designer fits through? Maybe not physically, maybe digitally to save a bit of desk space. I'm sure time to time they might get the bricks out and try to build something from scratch, but they just start putting pieces together, see if it works. If not, back to the drawing board. Or do you think they just keep adding because they're actually getting paid based on time limits and they've got to meet so many different targets? Because I hope it's the former and not the latter. It just seems so much more fun. 1x? Any 1x? Anything that can be used in a 1x slope? We got... No, not big enough. That one's not big enough at all. Got a load of different stickered elements. I didn't realise there were so many stickers in this set. Just goes to show though, the stickers must have been used pretty well if I don't remember the stickers. That's a stretch. That is a stretch. That giant 1x4 inverse slope. Might just have to add like a 1x1, or no, I can't add a 1x2. We could add a 1x1 and then slope up to the back, just not only keeping the door down, but also killing a bit more space for the chairs. That's actually a good game plan, but I don't remember if and where we had those 2x slopes. Oh, here we go. Here are the grey 2x's that I saw. Oh, there's the white 2x's. All the 2x. Here are the white ones. There you go. So, what we're going to do, maybe we can even add a chair in front of all this. Doesn't seem like it will take up too much space, but I do want to add... we got some grey studs. They could be useful later on. Any more yellows? Just the one yellow. And technically a spare. We got red and green. We've definitely got to use the green over the red. Here on the channel, we do love a green. So there we go. Put 2 green studs in and a little ramp leading towards the exit. A little line in the middle, which does look very suspicious thinking about it. Hello there, Kelly. Didn't know I was streaming every single Saturday at 7 PM UTC, which is not the easiest to remember if you're not living here in the UK. But yeah, every Saturday we are streaming. Might start streaming some games soon as well. But today we're building a Phantom out of the Ghost. And so far so good, I must say. We are looking for any sort of tile that will fill the gap between these 2 green ones. Oh, that's not meant to come off. Maybe we need to reinforce that underneath as well as... Right, so that's going to sit quite nicely there. Make sure those slope elements aren't going nowhere. No problem. At least you're here now to enjoy the spools that is the ghost all over the desk. Let's see what other pieces we've got. We've got some slopes we could bring it in with. A lot of slopes I might add for the ghost, which I know it kind of makes sense. The ghost isn't exactly a square ship or doesn't conform to any right angles here and there. But with all the hinges and the different clip elements, there are still a lot of slopes in this original set. To save you skipping back through, if you have made it to this point, just like Kelly, and didn't watch the start of it, honestly, no problem. But we were talking at the start about the new gift with purchase, which is no longer an escape pod, no longer Boba and 2 cadets, but is instead the Kaminoan KE3. I have no idea what that means either, but it's a Kaminoan ship that we see in Attack of the Clones and apparently shows up on Battlefront 2. So we're going to have to play that again to have a little look where that's from. But it's including 3 clone cadets in red costumes, in their red, like we see in Attack of the Clones, sat at the lunch table, all in their red, outfits. Does that mean we could get some arm printing? Because I've seen these minifigures on Grandpa Clones Custom. Someone shouted them out before in the chat. And I know they have a custom red suited clone. We're probably going to get a little detail on the torso. If we can get some printed arms, not only are they great for this minifigure, it's a little Camino logo on the arm. I'm not sure if it's both arms or just one. I would want it on both arms for arm printing. But not only could we do that, we could use the torso from Boba Fett with those red arms and create some young cadets from the Clone Wars. Boba in Attack of the Clones is fully blue, but in the Clone Wars they give him the red arms with their Kaminoan logos or Camino logos, and that would be really cool. It'd be the equivalent of Nine Num in the anniversary minifigures with the Rebel friend that we made. We've got a few. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. We've got at least 3 different Rebel friends up on the shelf. Battlefront 2 Jedi Temple. We need a Jedi Temple from Lego. But the Jedi Temple is such an iconic build. Have fun building that. And I suppose if you're not limiting yourself to the cantina pieces, I'm sure you'll have a lot more room for creativity than trying to half build a door that yeah, that meditation door turned out pretty well given the restrictions. But if I was just to show you that without saying I restricted myself to the Mos Eisley, I think it would get a very mixed reception. I think the gift with purchase, because it includes the clones for the gift with purchase, I think it's an easy buy. Easy pickup. It's just now, the big question isn't whether I spend £145, it's rumoured to be $160, 160 euros. It isn't whether I spend that much, it's what I spend that much on. And I'm really hoping that C-3PO keyring comes through to add up the rest of the price. We normally get some, I've had a little look through years past. Keyrings have been added to the Star Wars sets, thankfully, when they're trying to work out your total to hit the gift with purchase. And we've had a Vader keyring. I think the Fennec keyring that's just gone out of stock, or just retired, kind of. It's on stock on some websites. I think that was also a May 4th keyring. You're not limited to just the Mos Eisley. That's a very good call, because I'm surprised there were enough pieces to fully enclose it. We did cheat a little bit. But it is still mostly with Mos Eisley pieces. Still need to break that down. But maybe we'll have another hash at it later this year without any restrictions. I'm not sure if that will be a live stream, because I could just sit here for hours building another room, but doing something like Hogwarts has done with the modularity, where you can just keep stacking, would be fun to build. This year we built the 6 rooms that we got there. Maybe at the end of the year we add another 4 to the bottom. Next year we add another 5, and then throughout the year we just keep adding rooms and building this massive temple over time. Dreaming big, but you got to start somewhere. I think that even as a Lego set, a Jedi Temple that, you know, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, they release another Jedi Temple that can combine with a previous one, that would be awesome. I've also realised that we've got a lot of non-white at the top there. Let's get that sorted out. Where are the white tiles at? Here we go. So we might need another 2. Or a 4. A 2 or a 4. Keep my eye out for that. Also, speaking of mocks that we've done here on the channel, and more directly onto the Venator we built with the Acclimator, I'm looking, someone commented, I'm not going to find the comment, but I might be able to find the idea. Well, that's the wrong page. Someone commented about building, what was it? I've got so many mocks. Oh, a Republic Cruiser. So similar ship to the one from episode 1, and building that in, yeah, Republic Cruiser. Same ship that we see in episode 1 at the start, but with a Republic spin on it, so grey and red, as opposed to red and white. We're getting a load of red ships using just the acclimator. And I think for a midi-scale ship, not only is it going to be a little bit hard, you know, I don't want to keep just switching out the wings of builds, but it's going to be so cool to see that build. Add a little Wolfie minifigure to the side. We've got the custom one on display just on the wall there. And I think we've got ourselves a really nice cruiser. Alongside all of the other, I mean, we're getting a few Kylo Ren builds, the helmet and the shipping, mate. So maybe I can try and... I don't think there's any ship that's come out with a load of black pieces recently, but maybe I can just try to build my own version of Kylo Ren shuttle. Tries to beat Legos. We'll have to wait for that one to come out to see how good that actually looks. Or at least get some images on it first. Interesting to see if we get a... Because there was leaks. Well, there was rumours. There's everything that exists in Star Wars has probably been rumoured at this point. But there was rumours one day, once upon a time, of a Jango Fett helmet. If we're getting the Slave one this year, seem to be going in quite a bit on Attack of the Clones. Yes! But there's definitely just for the UCS Slave one and then the playset later this year. I wonder if we'll get a Jango helmet later this year. Chances are the leaks will start popping soon. And if Jango's helmet has even April Fools every year, we get a ton of people just leaking a bunch of random stuff. How many times have we got the Jedi Temple and then the 2nd of April it's like, oh no, it might be happening. And to date, we're still yet to get a Jedi Temple, but it's always fun. I'll be covering all those April Fool's leaks here on the channel. I don't know. Oh, hold on. That's like Tuesday, isn't it? So we'll probably be talking about them next Saturday. Maybe Tuesday, Wednesday I'll have to do a cheeky little live or a video at the least. But that'll be interesting to see what sort of sets are leaked April Fools. Not to mention what LEGO are doing. Fortnite's actually got an update, not for April, but for May 2nd. And I'm following along the leaks of that at the minute. Because, ooh, we need this. That's what we were doing. Because Fortnite's meant to have a Star Wars season. In place of years past, where we've got only a... normally we have an OG month, where we just go back in time for a little bit. In place of that, this year we are getting a full-on Star Wars season, just for the month. I think there's meant to be another collab as well in the works, and we're getting a new like festival pass. I think that's rumoured to be Sabrina Carpenter. Imagine Sabrina Carpenter Star Wars collab. Fortnite? You never know. You never know with Fortnite. But, yeah, we're meant to be getting Star Wars for the entire month. That's going to be really exciting. And I wonder what else will come of that, because I'm sure LEGO have something planned. Well, they've got May 4th planned for Star Wars, but I'm sure they've got something for around May besides gift with purchases and little bits like that. We got the UCS set, which is always big. And the fact they're going away for May 4th, they're going away from original trilogy. Could we, Sabrina Carpenter, it's made someone pop up in chat, but could we be expecting more prequel trilogy sets? Arc 170, so far play sets for this year. We've got the Arc 170. We have Ahsoka's Interceptor. We have, what else do we have? Is that it? Is that it? No, that's not it. We got a 4+ set. We've got a helmet. We've got Grogu. We've got 7 things so far. So 2 play sets, 3 non-play sets, the Acclimator, the home one. Yeah, 2 play sets so far, both based on Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith respectively. And now we're getting the Slave one from Attack of the Clones. We're getting a UCS set, not really a play set, one rumoured for later this year. We got some clones. Do we have an original trilogy set rumoured for this year? I'm pretty sure we don't. Let's have a quick look. A little tangent. Let's have a little look at what we've got. I can't remember where I downloaded it. I have the list somewhere. Talk amongst yourself for just 1 second. Here we go. Literally 1 second. So, 2025 roundup, U-Wing. Well, there you go. Top of the list, and I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I guess the U-Wings kind... Do we count the U-Wing as original trilogy, though? Because in my eyes, I really like that early Empire. Kenobi, Rogue One. Is Rogue One still a prequel? Because we've got the original trilogy, A New Hope, Empire, and Return. The prequels come before that. The sequels come after that. So Andor and Rogue One coming before A New Hope. I think I'm counting those as prequels. So we've got Andor for the prequels. MIDI, Kylo Ren shell, Star Wars logo, Django helmet? Oh, there is a Django helmet rumoured. I either didn't know about that or completely forgot about that. We know about the UCS Slave 1, the Kylo helmet, Chopper, buildable, quite bigger, Plo Koon, Microfighter, Darth Maul mech. Plo Koon, Maul, prequel characters. I think they are kind of playsets. I guess Mandalorian 4+ is kind of a playset, but it is a 4+ set, so we're not counting that. Battle Pack for the Death Trooper, Night Troopers, there we go, Ahsoka. That's sequels. If Rogue One and Andor are prequels, that's definitely sequel trilogy. Well, not sequel trilogy, sequels after Return of the Jedi. We then got the UT-AT with Galactic Marines. No, we spoke about that, I think, on the channel. That might have switched up. We've got the Rebuild the Galaxy set, which has been heavily leaning on the prequel trilogy. ATST, UCS set, never mind. Battle Droid buildable, Ewok buildable, 327th Battle Pack. We've got the V19 Torrent. Torrent. We've got the Jango Fett Slave 1 playset, a buildable K2SO, and a Separatist MTT. So the only playset that we've got that isn't prequel trilogy based, we've got the N1, which is 4+, but the only playset that isn't 4+, 18+, or prequel trilogy based is the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. This is going to be a good year for my shelf, a bad year for my wallet, that's for sure. But, oh yeah, we were securing this, so where's our other little chocolate button? We got a grey one. I know there's a million black ones, I can see them. Ah, I knew we had another grey one. And that's just going to secure on the bottom. So it's a good year. It's a good year. Buying 5,000 of the UT-8, of the UCS 8, the UT-80s. Oh, yes, the UT-80s, the Galactic Marines. I hope they don't get... First off, I'm going to refrain from using any French on this channel. Screw Ki-Adi-Mundi. Do not include, please, Lego, do not include Ki-Adi-Mundi in this set. We want Galactic Marines. We just want Galactic Marines. Could you include the Commander? You could include the Commander, but you could also not include it. Make it more of a battle pack. 4 clone troopers. No Ki-Adi-Mundi. We already got Ki-Adi-Mundi not too long ago. And to go through all that effort to bring back the head mold, save it for a Jedi Temple, save it for a Council set, and we'll just take straight up clones, all clone troopers, all Galactic Marines, and hopefully they look as good as the custom I've got here. This is a slight different colour. I think this is from the Clone Wars appearance we see of the Galactic Marines, but this is a custom I got from Filoni Clones Customs, and they do... Sam over there does sell a few different versions of these, and I've been so tempted to pick up. If you saw my video collecting as many of these clones and many clone legions in 90 minutes, I bid on so many of them. Galactic Marines get eaten up more than the 501st. The 501st, the named 501st clones aren't as popular as Galactic Marines. Galactic Marines, from what I've seen in the custom game with my small pool of people, is the most popular custom clone legion there is, and the fact that Lego are capitalizing on it, you know, they're going in the right direction, so it does bring a smile to my face. I'm really happy that Lego are going ahead with them, but we'll have to see what is actually included in that set, because no doubt Lego will want to get a few clones in. I hope they put a few clones in, a few droids. Let's see what that rumor said. Let's bring back up the list. This is a list. Whose list is this? Because that might help with what's on it. Oh, wrong folder. No, no, right folder. Right. Here we go. So this list is from... Oh, I didn't screenshot that. I have no idea who this list is from. So the UTAT is meant to come with Galactic Marine minifigures. Well, that was a lot. How many pieces? $150, 800 pieces. Ooh, ooh, that's close to 20 cents per piece, which is like 15 over here in the UK. Might not be that steep, but that's... Hello there, CBB. Welcome to the stream. That's steep for a Lego set. 15 pence, 20 cents. We're talking about Lego Star Wars leaks, and that UTAT, I don't think... I mean, it might include a ton of... We might get, you know, Kieri... I think for an expensive set, they're going to want to include some name minifigures. We might get Commander Bakara, is it? With the Galactic Marines. Kieri Mundi. Maybe two clones, Windu style. That set was only like 60 odd quid, but we might get a bigger tank. Maybe give us ATTE. This is ATTE level. How many 212s do we get with the ATTE? Let's have a little look. The Lego ATTE comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clones, including Cody. So we're looking at 3 droids, maybe a B2 in that lineup, because Lego are really rinsing the mold, and I am loving it. As many B2s as we can get. Can't remember where else B2's rumoured for. We've got the battle pack later this year. We got the battle pack earlier last year, and I think they showed up in the advent as well. I guess they're not rinsing it yet, but they're planning. They are definitely warming it up to be rinsed. Surprised we didn't get a B2 droid in the Arc 170, but we're looking at maybe no Kieri Mundi. You know, maybe hot take, Kieri Mundi's not in the set. Commander Bakara and 4, maybe 5 Galactic Marines. I think that's the perfect way to do that set. You can't really beat getting all those clones in one set. Not like that, at least. No. The Lego convention going on actually tomorrow. Oh, and the best part, the longtime friend is going with you. Hey, have fun in that. I was looking forward to a convention in March. Totally missed out. But I think so many people have been commenting and talking about Lego conventions. You're going to have a blast, no doubt about it. I might have to have a little look into going to one later this year. The good thing with a lot of the ones near me, I don't know if it's the same with that Lego convention, is they come round twice a year. So they do one trek around the UK and then they go back around later on in the year. So maybe I'll catch it on the flip side. But I would love to go traveling one day and just visit a bunch of different Lego and Star Wars conventions. Actually, I think Star Wars could be pretty cool to hop, skip, and jump all over the place doing. Let's course correct that. The jumper to basically counter the jumper from the bottom. But for this to work, we're gonna need some more white plates. Where are the white? They were 1 in a million earlier on. Now they're gone. Ah, well, we could. No, I don't think that's needed. Could add a little ledge. Let's add a little ledge. In you pop. And out you pop. In you pop. Out you pop. The back of it's not looking too bad. For the back of a ship, we're not putting all our bricks into this because we would like some for the front, but it ain't too bad. 2 full days. All the conventions near me have only been going on for 1 day. I wonder what the difference is. I wonder, you gotta let me know if you're going first or second. Conventions actually open today. Oh, so it's second day. I think second day, if there's any vendors there, I think second day is the day to go. Because first day, you know, they've tried to sell it. If things haven't sold the first day, I guess first day you get a load of cheap things that people might not be aware of. But if we go with the second day, the vendors would be lowering the prices of things that haven't sold, so the stuff that's harder to get would be on a better deal. Got a question, why did you make your brickheads premium? Wanted to build the new look for Cody and Captain Rex. I'll be completely honest, Rex was premium because it was part of a whole line of clones that I don't think I ended up releasing, so I might have to release the instructions for that. Cody, I don't know why. Cody is built the exact same body and legs as the Lego set. It's literally just the head, which is a handful of pieces different to the helmet. I don't know with Cody. I'll be completely honest. But now that you are a member, if you sign up to the Discord, you get both of them for no extra cost. So keep an eye out. I think they're called the same as they are on Rebrickable. Not selling, but I'm displaying mocks. Oh, really cool. Are you displaying the Venator on the Discord? So if you head over to the members Discord, let me pop it back up, and I can tell you in a second exactly what it's called. Exactly what it's called. Hopefully it don't crash the stream. We might have to check it. Oh, there you go. So if you head over to the Discord, also for anyone wondering about the McDonald's codes and that, feel free to let me know in the chat. I can help you out with that while I'm here as well. If you head over to mock instructions, oh, is this at the higher or the lower? I might whack them into the lower after the stream if they're not here. Because higher brick tier members get a different set of instructions to stud tier. So they might be in brick tier. Anyhow, if they are in brick tier, yeah, they're in brick tier. So I can whack them on the free instructions, actually. I'm looking at them both now. We've got Rex and Cody. Let me just double check something. But yeah, displaying mocks. I would love to take mocks to a convention, but a lot of mine, I'm just worried about them breaking down and being pieced out. By me, not by anyone else. This isn't I'm scared of people touching them. This is purely, I will accidentally crush one of my builds. And if you watch the video, I know Kelly here watched the video where I was talking about instructions, the future of instructions, yada yada, spoke for quite a bit on that. I knocked the Venator mock flying, and it was fun to rebuild. Got to go back through my instructions and check they were all good with the wings. Definitely going to work on some, we'll finish up now on the paper instructions. But with me carrying mocks, they're not meant to be carried across. All right, what I'm going to do is once this stream is wrapped up, I've left myself a little reminder. I'm going to move the Cody and Rex over into the free instructions, and might even make Cody free on Rebrickable. I guess as you become a member, Gonk Rex, I will keep them member exclusive, but if someone else wants to head to Cody, let me know. Phase 1 helmet as well is a bit of work, but yeah, I'll whack them over on the free instructions. So where you can see the repo character, they'll just pop up above them because they are small builds. They're only brick heads. Yeah, I can't believe I was just sat here and like elbowed it straight off the desk. Can't believe I did that, but at least I had the instructions. I'm so happy I made some instructions for that. Next month, going to be a member again. Yeah, don't forget as well, you can download the Rex and Cody instructions. This is sort of a cheat. Probably, don't know if YouTube wants me saying this, but you can download the instructions and they're yours forever. You don't lose them if you lose your membership and lose the Discord. The instructions, once downloaded, are yours to keep forever. Which is what I like about Rebrickable. When you pay for instructions, you don't just get sent them, lose the email, and they're gone. You can go back and download them as many times as you like. And on top of that, anyone wondering to become a member, got a few queries recently. We've got a bunch of channels over there. We've been speaking about a load of the rumors over there. Wait, lose Discord. So you don't lose Discord after you're not a member, but you do lose access to some channels. I am going to try and modify that because right now we don't actually have that many channels that, you know, we don't have that many members that can be kicked off. But yeah, for future purposes, all members, once the membership runs out, it's good for the month, but once the membership runs out, you lose access to certain perks. And I'm also working on trying to get an open channel so that everyone can join in, get a little taste of what it'll be like on the Discord. But I guess that's all the comment section's here for. What other channels do I have? So on Discord, we have a channel for leaks, new releases and the likes. We have a separate channel for make and takes because Lego don't advertise them well at all. We have questions, any questions you have regarding mocks, videos or the like, whack them in there. We have brick memes. I can just wait there because brick memes, what more do you need? Maybe when we get the channel up and running and there's a load of brick memes, we can do little brick meme reviews as well from the channel. We've got a Lego channel for you to share your images. I guess it's a bit like the community tab that YouTube are working on. And then we've just got a general channel for talk. You know, I'll plug certain merch that we've got early before everyone else finds out about it. Speaking of which, we do have a brand new shirt in the merch. Shirt. We have a brand new shirt. It's not the one I'm wearing. This one was available for a limited time and may return in 2 weeks' time. I can't promise anything, but it may return for a second period. And then we also have, we've got the brand new shirt that has Master Moldy on it, working on a few different shirts right now. So keep your eye over on the site. It doesn't show. So if you head over to Discord, you've got to pair Discord with YouTube. I have no idea how to do that. That's worth a Google in itself. Reddit will tell you. But if you pair Discord with YouTube, then that connects, and that's what tells Discord, you know, you're this member, you get these perks, and stops anyone being able to join. So if you have a quick Google how to connect your Discord to YouTube, it will tell you a lot better than I ever can, but that will show up. Don't need to be a member for so long to access certain channels. Straight away, stud tier gets access to basically everything except for mock instructions and decals. You get instructions, but you don't get all the instructions. Brick tier gets all of the bigger instructions. Stud tier gets some of the smaller instructions, but like brick heads, like micro fighters, like a lot of the smaller builds will be going over to the lower channel, and eventually I'll probably end up merging the two memberships. Just for now, it's easier to differentiate between brick tier for the brick instructions and stud tier for the brick memes. But do make sure you connect your YouTube over to Discord so you're not missing out on any of the really cool perks. This Phantom is, well, I say this Phantom's coming along pretty quickly. It's almost 2 hours. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? Going to... Yeah, don't forget, I had so much trouble connecting my YouTube to Discord. Well, I didn't have any trouble connecting my YouTube and Discord accounts, actually. But I had so much trouble at the start trying to work it before connecting the accounts because I had no idea what to do. But usually with stuff like that and with the Minecraft codes, a quick Google, actually... The codes were straightforward. I had a trouble launching Minecraft in the first place. That did take quite a while, but yeah, after I figured out how to launch it, and that I needed to update my game, update my game launcher, it all went quite smoothly. That was quite nice. Got to play Minecraft Bedrock for the first time in what feels like forever. It wasn't forever. It's not really been that long since I played it, I don't think. Probably a few months. Few months, if that. Do we need to add... I think that's quite satisfactory for a ramp. You know, the Swedish song. Let's go into Eurovision. I think the Swedish song is the one... No, the Swedish song's not the one I'm thinking of. I need to listen to all the Eurovision songs. That's like a month out. Oh, 6 weeks out? Usually after May 4th. So I need to go through them all because, to be completely honest, I haven't really been following along with it. It always happens. I forget about Eurovision and then May sneaks up, May 4th happens, and then suddenly I realise, oh, it's less than a week to Eurovision. But I should probably listen to the songs and have a favourite before I start watching it. Should you do YouTube? Yes. Yes. I can't say yes enough. I mean, it's not all it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I was gonna think of something else to say. It's not all it's, you know, advertised as. No, it is pretty fun. Especially approaching 5k subs, having started this 5 years ago. I don't know about you. I think we're hitting 5k subs this year. Recently, the channel growth has been insane, and thank you all for that, because I've been noticing there might only be a handful. Oh, you know what? A couple of handfuls of you popping up in chat in stream, but I can see all you silent viewers out there as well. I see the numbers trickling up. Maybe a few of you not able to catch this live, and like I said, there will be some more live streams. Might try to do a few early morning for me as well, just to capture the other audience that are really popping off the shorts right now. Hold on, have I not turned the lights on? There we go. There we go. A little bit better. But Swedish Song is actually a Finnish band that found a cheat code. Oh, now this is interesting. So Eurovision, after Finland didn't want them in their Eurovision. That's a bit like, I guess it's a bit like footballers that live someplace for a certain amount of time so they can then play for that national team. I think it's like 5 years. Is it 5 years? And then you can play for the national team, which is a lot of effort to go through, but props to them. Finding a little loophole in Eurovision. Eurovision is, yeah, you know what? Imagine if they rank higher than Finland as well. In college, weren't able to do it much. Honestly, with YouTube, when it comes down to it, you know, I've been doing it for 5 years, and that is crazy to think of that. But it started off, well, my 5 years. 5 years ago, around now, I think it was 5 years October I started it off. I was in comment sections, so anyone that was, you know, especially for big Lego creators, anyone that had any question, I'd just be scrolling through as I watched the video, helping people out. And then I started thinking, why don't I do videos on this? So I didn't. I didn't do videos on this. Instead, I started making Funko Pop unboxings. A lot of the TikToks you can see from like 4 years ago are basically what I was doing. I was just unboxing them, showing them off. Then I started getting fancy with it, twirling them around, realized my monitor was a great backdrop. Continued down this line for like a year. So I was living in comments for a year, doing that for a year. Then I turned to Star Wars fan fictions and what ifs, as we called them, and that was fun. Still working on that one for May that someone asked about. And then, oh, this is a trip down memory lane. What did we do after then? Then it was kind of Lego, but it was a lot of buying sets, reviewing sets, didn't really build anything. And then the last year, 2024 into, I guess, 2025, we've been building a lot of mocks and really getting into the Lego, starting to play games as well. We're still branching out the channel. Doesn't mean I'll change it from Lego anytime soon. But my focus is, well, I'm not sure I can focus. I'm not sure I have the ability to focus sometimes, but my focus can be all over the place. And yeah, here we are. Here we are so many years later. I lost track of the years. 5 years later. So even if you're only able to post every so often, like I said, this channel started off in comment sections. I'm not sure anyone that I helped in the comments even remembers being, you know, it's a comment. I don't really remember helping anyone in particular back then, but just a handy comment of try this, look at this, this was this, and here we are now making, now building Lego on a live stream with however many of you watching. Can you, instructions in the free instructions? I could try doing it straight away. I think I should know where they are, so it should be, I don't know if I can copy and paste them from the Discord. I forget I can search. Let's search that. There we go. Right, I should be able to, can I copy? It doesn't let me copy. Right, it doesn't let me move the whole thing. All right, I might have to relink it. Let's relink it. So we've got. Come on, let me copy. Right, I might be able to rename this. Let's put the Rex one first. heads. Let's get the image. Where do I keep them? Definitely need to go through and organize my instructions. I've got so many instructions on here. The brickheads is a fairly empty folder, so it's pretty straightforward, but with all of my other instructions, I do need to. Right, let's get the helmet as well. Right, so there's Rex. That will be loading through. The instructions are pending. And then Cody. So Rex does have his phase 2 helmet. I don't think I made a Rex phase 1 helmet. I have to double check that. Pretty sure I didn't. But Cody has a phase 1. Oh, didn't mean to close that down. Cody has a phase 1. Oh dear, what have we done? There we go. Cody has a phase 1 helmet and his regular head. And like I said, there are a ton of other brickheads that I made. We've got 99, we've got Bly, we've got Anakin, we've got Kenobi, we've got Fives, we've got Wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're the 8 of the brickheads that I've done, and there were a few more in the works. I think I teased like an Asajj Ventress and a Grievous brickheads. So if you want instructions for that, or at the very least the studio files, if you want to part out your own instructions, then definitely let me know. I can whack those up. And there you go. There is Cody. I'll give them their official names later on. But phase 1 helmet for Rex and a phase 2. Well, Lego did the phase 2 helmet for Cody in the original brickheads. So that's why I didn't go with the Cody helmet, the Cody phase 2 helmet. But yeah, I don't know why. I guess because all the other clones were phase 2 and from later on. Rex's phase 1. Rex's phase 1 is pretty cool, but it's also pretty hard to do in brickheads form. So maybe that's why I didn't. So double check that the Rex and Cody instructions are all good, but they should be up there. I'm pretty sure they're final versions for both the instructions, and enjoy it. You could even try to start piecing them together as we are building in this stream. That could be pretty fun to do on the side. Speaking of the side, we've done the back of the Phantom. Now it's time to turn our attention to the front for the final leg of the base of the Phantom. I can't say final leg of the Phantom. We're not that close yet, but I'm hoping to piece together. We've got some of these 6x6 pieces. We also have quite a few other plate-like elements, but rather than putting these 6x6s straight down, I'm going to use these. Again, we got a load of bright blue in the middle of this ship, but we are covering it up slowly and surely. Oh, we've actually covered up some of the grey with this white element. Oh no, can't be having that. All right, let's slide that across. There we go. And then we just need to cover that with grey. There was some 2x4 grey. Here we are, 2x4 grey pieces that we could use. So maybe that will be quite handy for this. Get rid of those. That bulks it out a little bit. Might want to switch them up, and could put some 1x2 grills. But yeah, keep an eye out for those brickheads. Might have a few more. The good thing with these sides is we can fold down the panel and really access that interior. I do want to make the top able to pop off, but if we don't, we can still access it that way. Finished band name is, oh, I don't know how you'd pronounce that in Finnish, but I'm going to say Karj, something like that. I'm sure once I've listened to the song or watched something with them in, then I'll know how to pronounce it. But for now, I think that's the best we're going to get. And, oh, that does stick out. Said as Kai. Oh, because, yeah, that's fair enough. In Finnish. What's it said in Swedish? Is it the exact same, no doubt? But it'd be funny if they just switched up their name. Switched up the accent, at least, or something like that. Or Sweden, the front. Do we stick the front in a little more? We'd still need to get an element just down underneath. There we go. Something like that. But I'm not sure if I'm not sure if that's the right piece, or if we try to stick with, what's it, 6 high? Because we've got a bunch of 3x3s. We could 4x6 it and then 3x3, because we do have another 4. Right. Let's mix it up. Do we have 2x6s? Yes and yes. So we need 6 space. Let's get the 4 in there. 2x6 underneath. Then the 3. Was it that? Yeah. And then we need, oh, we need the other side. Where are the other sides? Here we go. Something like that. With a 2x3. Song that are going to Eurovision is Go Only in Spawners. That's such a Eurovision song. That is a Eurovision song if I've ever heard one. And I've heard a fair amount of Eurovision songs. Now we need to replicate this on the other side. I guess even with Eurovision songs, you look at some popular Star Wars music and you've got the Cantina Band. Something about that it's not silly music, it's quite good music, but it's about the most random topics. I suppose you wouldn't need to look as far as the charts to see some music about some interesting topics. There is something about music that has quite funny titles in it, that it's just got Eurovision written all over it. Right, this is holding together better than expected, which is eerily surprising. I'm not sure how we're gonna feel about that going forward. But we could also add, a little slope to it. How far over would we need to be? Oh, we can't. We don't have the space. Oh no. They sing in Swedish because in Finland we learn Swedish and also every language. Oh. So I guess might make a YouTube channel today. I say go for it. Purely because I think the only thing I wish I'd done having a YouTube channel, which I know you hear everyone saying the same exact thing, wish I started it sooner, which is really true. Granted, if I started it sooner, I would have just sat answering comments for a longer time. I don't think I would have spun into this any sooner. Could always say, oh, start this 10 years ago and how big I would be, but I don't think that is the case, because all of you watching these videos were probably not watching this content 10 years ago. A lot of you probably weren't watching anything 10 years ago. YouTube was quite big 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years isn't that too far back. But even if at the start it's just, I mean, YouTube is a social media, I guess, and a few of you with your own channels will kind of feel the same. It's just like posting to Instagram, only it's not done personally a lot. Not a lot of people have personal YouTube channels where they post their stuff. It's a lot of content heavy stuff, like Lego, for instance. Gonna do a review for the Rex and Cody. Go ahead. I might have to do a reaction to the review and then just this giant chain of videos. Yeah, tag me in it and I'll give it a watch when they've been built, because I do like, that's something about Rubricable as well. I've got a load of instructions on my own website now. Going forward, a lot of them are going to be there. I just am able to put more of what you're spending back into the channel, which is the reason behind that whole video. But with Rubricable, the comment section on it, basically, it is a really handy comment section. Nothing great, you know. Rubricable isn't a YouTube alternative, so it's not expected to be anything great, but it is handy having that little bit of feedback there, so people can comment on what they liked, perhaps what they didn't like about a build, which, you know, my builds are so amazing. No one ever comments about what they didn't like, because everyone likes them. Not true by any means, I wish, but It's nice to have that little bit of feedback. What could be done better next time? And also, previously having reviewed your Gonkmobile, I think I called it, on the channel. It's a nice little 1-2 of exchanging Lego sets. Completely forgot about that. The Gonkmobile. That's something that Lego should add. Like with the Stormtroopers in the hot tub, the Gonkmobile. I guess you could ride a Gonk in the Skywalker Saga. That comes close. Speaking of reviewing sets, might do that with the Venator. That is, especially with mock builds, I think that is quite a nice way to... the Gonkmobile is the only mobile in the galaxy. Yeah, it's instead of the hunker junk, it's the hunker gonk. No, that doesn't work out. Scrap that. Yes, erase that. If I could unthink anything, it'd be that. Right. Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe I should have added some bricks lower down. Either way, let's get a nice little roof going for this. Oh, 1, 2. Do we have enough plates? 3. I don't think we have enough plates to stretch this whole thing. I think I've gone too ambitious with the body of it. We are trying to make it minifigure scale. I have a feeling minifigure scale isn't even this big. Is it? It does say it measures up to 40 studs on the Wikipedia, so we are trusting it. But I have hit doubt many times. Where's the grey one? This. Right, we got one. Oh wow, the grey one was longer. Oh blimey! I thought that was the longest one. There's more. More. If I have another 1x8 in grey, we might be able to brick out the sides and secure it a little bit more. Still have the Gonkmobile with the Gonks. I think I still have the Gonks actually built. I have a few different drawers. I don't know what one's in this. Oh no, this one's Qui-Gon. Yeah, I still have the Gonks built in one of the drawers. I just have 4 drawers full of different Gonks. This is Qui-Gon, Maul, Rex and Jar Jar by the looks of the bottom one. But I still have 4 drawers of Gonks. So I have 2.5 of the ones that I built, and then the Gonks from the Gonkmobile as well. Still got them back there. I am so behind. Maybe I should do a little parting out stream again. We did one last year, but I guess we got a load more leaks to speak about this year because I am so behind with trying to part out. I've still got the 8080 sat in a few pieces. Mos Eisley's just in the corner. And there's a few other ships that I should probably be breaking down to use their parts towards other mocks. But I think the reason I'm putting it off is because I also would have to go through those drawers and, like with the Gonks, part out the Gonks and little bits like that. But for some reason, I don't want to part with the Gonks. Gonks are too good. Could add them to a display of their own, mind you. Imagine just replacing all of the minifigures in that wall with Gonks. Pure Gonks. Nothing but the Gonks. Right, we do need to close that in for a door. Do we need Technic? Maybe the Technic pieces there aren't as needed as I thought they were. We could get some of these. Maybe we can secure the front. There we go. What I'm hoping is to place this somewhere on top, and then we can just build everything, the engines, the lot, straight off of here. Oh wow, this is, you probably heard me say that a lot. Oh wow. If you need to be a member for 48 months to get the maximum member stud, 48 months. Oh, I didn't even piece that together. 4 years is the maximum member stud. I think we've got some people that are approaching a year already, so there is. What's the longest? Let's shout out the longest channel member whilst we're having a little look. So Oh, we are so close to 4.6 thousand. If there are 5 of you that haven't subscribed in the stream or hanging around watching this afterwards, hit subscribe. Help us get to 5k. Are we going to hit 5k? It's a bit ambitious to hit it before May, but you never know. We might hit 5k before May. The longest member running is, of course, Soybean. Channel member for 9 months. Almost a year, 3 months, what's that? April, May, June. Almost a year already. And that's a purple stud, which is quite nice. We've got a few blue studs in Great Snow Blizzard, Chase Phillips, Spare Parts, Kevin and Alexander Kazmierski. And then we've got brand new members, Gonk Rex and Spider Holland 2013. Spider Holland joined today, and actually I've already Pownet. Cheers for the sub on the alt account. And hello there to your alt account as well. Welcome to the stream. Just recorded a short actually about the latest member, and that should be up in the next few hours. I can't remember when I scheduled that. I think it's early hours of the morning for me, but keep content rolling all the day, all throughout the day. Going to the maximum stud. Only need to make it 3 years and 11 months. Only 3 years and 11 months. Just think, 3 years and 11 months is another 3 years and 11 months. 4 May 4th gift with purchases. Almost 5. Almost 5 May. No, almost 4. No, because we got one now. Almost 5 May 4th gift with purchases. Oh wow, that's we've got one coming up though. We've got one coming up, so it's not that long. Just review all the sets for content. I mean, I wouldn't complain. Definitely add a little twist, but at the same point with the reviews, if you switch up anything from any of my mocks, if you switch up, perhaps, you know, you have a different build style to how I do certain things, or change a few more things than I did on some of my alts, that is pretty much what I'm doing to Lego, and we can start a whole chain of it. And yeah, and more of course, but go ahead. Going to be 18. Get the maximum stud, and we'll be talking about the, what's that, 4 years time, 2029 May 4th gift with purchase. I'm still going to be here talking about Star Wars in 4 years time. 5 years time, let's stop at 5. Let's not think too much ahead. 2030 is far enough. We'll get to there. And yeah, I'm not planning on stopping this anytime soon. No matter what life throws my way, we can handle it here with Lego Star Wars. We've got this. I'm wondering how we can get this. I wonder how we can get this built. This is really not good for my posture. Let me stand up. But I wonder how we can get this secured with... Oh, I've accidental genius. So on the back here, we've got door hinges. Let me nick those. Plo Koon, Starfighter, Microfighter, Night Trooper Battle Pack, Mormech, and 327th. I think most of those, June is going to be a really nice month for picking up Lego, purely because of a lot of the cheap ones are coming out. So the Microfighter, the Mech, and the Little Battle Pack with the Night Troopers all coming out in June. Originally we started this year, and I set myself a resolution of buying Lego every other month. So January we bought our first lot of Lego. February we skipped, didn't buy any Lego in February. Valentine's Day does not count because my fiance bought Lego for me. We didn't buy any Lego. In March, I've spent quite a bit on Lego, especially behind the scenes for certain mocks we've done, like the Ahsoka Peridia. And then April, going back to not spending Lego because I need to save up for May 4th. We need to get that gift with purchase. And then June, we're not meant to be spending Lego. I might have to bite the bullet. The Microfighter, the Mech, the Battle Pack. I'm gonna say your channel's gonna be famous at least for 2060. I think that's a good shout. That gives me, what, 35 years. I got to roll my sleeves up and get working for the next 35 years. I'd argue with 4,595 subscribers, I wouldn't argue that's famous. No, let's not let it get to my head. But I do think it's pretty cool that there are that many people watching this style of content. I mean, not tuned into the stream right now, but you know what I mean, watching this style of content generally. So thank you all for the support. Genuinely, without all of yous, this is not possible. So shout out to all of yous. And voila, look at that. 2060 is a good shout. By 2060, we will hit 100k subscribers and finally be building the minifigure scale Star Destroyer. One thing concerned with the 327 is the yellow helmet fin, as seen in Revenge of the Sith. The print of the helmet hole. Oh no! Oh no! Not this helmet hole problem. Yeah, this might actually. We haven't had many other. Coruscant? No, not really. That's a good point with the helmet holes. I do wonder when LEGO are going to switch up and make the helmet holes back to how they were with the helmet holes. You know, the little bulge on the side of the helmets up where the helmet holes are, rather than having the two of them. It's interesting. We've had it for 5 years now. Are LEGO ever going to change it? I don't really know, but I hope they fix it for that, because that could be quite a big problem with design. Thinking going to save money on February to May 4th. I probably should have started saving at Christmas for May 4th, to be completely honest. And for those of you that have seen, I recently built, whilst I'm looking at the keyboard, I just thought I recently built a Lego keys for my keyboard. And I'd just like to show you that I am still using the Lego keys from that video. I'm pretty sure the video went out yesterday. Otherwise, you can have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm still using the keys from that keyboard, and so far they're actually working really, really well for Lego bricks. Who'd have thunk it? Waiting for next month, going to get 30, because to the friends owe you money. That's money towards May 4th. White helmet fin of the Star Corps. Star Corps was concept design. It was a fin 20 years. Hasbro did the helmet fin, and later. Oh, for Battlefront 2. See, that I really like. On Wikipedia, they have the little behind the scenes, I think it's called, and they give all the reasons why things were used. A bit like Hasbro being the reason that Windu's clones are purple in Season 7 of Clone Wars. That actually making it into canon is really, really cool. Commander Bricks is a really cool name. That is Commander Bricks. Master Moldy comes from Star Wars. Master Moldy doesn't come from Master Builder, which I think being a lot of a LEGO channel, Master Builder Moldy would have rolled off the tongue quite well. But yeah, Master comes from Star Wars. Commander Bricks is a really cool name. Original minifigure at the 327th was white. Let me see if I can pull up one of the original, because LEGO have already done a 327. Yeah, they have already done the 327th. Let's have a little look. So we've got 327th. So the Clone Troopers, where do we see them? There we go. So it looks like LEGO have done are these customs? Have LEGO not done 327th yet? I thought they did one with the helmet, like, not helmet holes, you know, the helmet holes we complain about. Helmet holes, the giant helmet hole at the front that goes through to the black head. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there you go. Kelly's got the OG 327th Trooper. So it must exist. I wonder if LEGO would, like with the 20th anniversary figs, the 25th anniversary, not really the 25th anniversary figs, just more for the 25th. I wonder if LEGO would give us any of these old Clone Troopers again. I personally, not owning any of them, wouldn't want to, because I think looking back into that window of LEGO Star Wars is not only cool in itself, seeing it in the books and such, but also those figures are worth quite a bit. LEGO did, yeah. They're worth quite a bit, looking at them on Bricklink and such. So for LEGO to re-release them, I think would hurt their value quite a bit. And even not owning any myself, I personally wouldn't want that to happen to Bricklink, Brickout, and everyone that does have a load of the original clones, because the more LEGO, I'm happy they did it with Rex from the Venator, but the more LEGO release figures that are seemingly exclusive, never coming back, and then they re-release them, the less people are likely to buy more figures. And I am the first person that will say they don't like scalpers or any of the likes, anyone that buys sets purely for investing, not like you and me that might have an investment set, but we're building most of the sets. I will be the first person to say I don't like scalpers, but without scalpers buying a lot of sets, I wonder if Lego would be selling as many, because a lot of the sets that Lego sell probably do go to, you know, scalpers and the likes. They're not all scalpers, but they do make up quite a fair portion of sales, which for you and me helps us get more Lego sets at the end of the day. It's one way to look at it. You should make myself as a brickhead. I'm looking at updating my fig, and I didn't realize until the other day. Oh yeah, let's get rid of that one. I didn't realize until the other day how much like me my sig actually does look like. Mainly with the hair, I think, when I have my hair up, because though I'm mostly wearing the bandana, the headband, in streams and a lot of my videos, I do have my hair in a ponytail most of the time, and the figure does look, maybe it's because I've been looking at it for so long, but it is starting to look a lot more like me. But brickheads is a great idea. I also want to make a channel logo. Maybe I can make a brickheads that from one angle looks like a brickheads, and then turn it around and it's the channel logo. If you see that coming to the channel anytime soon, and I forget to shout out Gonkorex, it was here where we conceived the idea live on stream. Understand Lego printing machine can't physically print properly on a 2022 helmet hole. Well, Clips Films Melbourne, by the way, welcome to the stream. Did I say that when we started talking? Hello there, welcome to the stream. But I have news for you, because the new Jango Fett helmet is going to have printing on the side of the helmet for a helmet hole. Fair enough, it's a UCS set, you know, we probably, bam. Here we have from a 30 pound, 35, can someone fact check that in the chat? £35 set from Paz Vizsla versus Moff Gideon, printing on and around the helmet holes. On the inside, you can see this whole helmet is a blue mold. This isn't a dual molded helmet, but on the side, you can't really see it too well, but there is printing on and around the helmet holes. Not quite like the Clone Troopers, and Mando helmets are a bit different. We've got it on, does Din Djarin? I don't know if Din Djarin has it, but we know Paz and now Jango Fett has printing around the helmet hole. Why not Clone Troopers? Lego make so many more Clone Troopers than they do Mandalorians. They need to do this. New rangefinder as well. Yes, from Jango, based on Skywalker Saga. Oh, that makes sense. I didn't piece that together. People want a new sun visor piece. I am growing on the Clone Army custom style, like we've got with Thrawn here. Thrawn, even, not Thrawn. Wrong Star Wars character. Like we got with Thrawn here. I like this Clone Army custom style of the visor just clipping on. It's a bit more fragile and does usually fall off when it's flipped upside down. I guess not, but that's actually held on pretty well, considering it. I had just assumed it would fall off when you flipped it. Maybe there's a bit more clutch power at work there, but I do like that visor with the little antenna at the side. But I quite like the new rangefinder piece. I've got so many of the old ones, it's going to take time to build up a collection, but as long as we're getting like 4 of these as well, and it's not just the one in a set, I think I could live with that and update all of my old ones. Live in Estonia, but finish. So, Gonkorex, if you started a band, and like this clone band down here, if you started a band and got through to Eurovision, would you be performing for Estonia or for Finland? Skywalker Saga, Commander Cody. I'm pretty sure the Commander Cody was a bit more detailed, if I remember correctly. I thought it'd be weird if Lego did dual mold phase 2 helmet with the sun visor, since buildable Commander Cody. Oh, the buildable figures. I tell you what, the buildable figures in general, I know they're hit and miss for a lot of people, but I do think some of them were pretty. I wouldn't say cool. See you in a sec, Kelly. I will say they warmed on me over time, a few of those buildable figures. Actually, after they retired, one of my local stores from one of the last places we lived had the Jyn Erso one. And my fiance, my partner, Really didn't like it. So I think I bought it for her birthday or Christmas, something like that. It's Estonia. Oh, I see. So it would be like with the Finnish band that are performing for Sweden, it'd be if one didn't take you, well, loyalties lie somewhere else. That's fair because, you know, it's not saying, well, the band that I forgot the band that went through, but it's not saying that the band wasn't good enough to perform. It's just they picked someone else. So I bet they'll be happy. They've got kind of two bands performing on a technicality. Two bands performing for them. Jin Urso is terrifying. I will say, out of all the mechs, Grievous was cool. We almost got a B2. We almost got a B2 and an ATRT with a 501st. The armored characters and I think we got a load of Rogue One characters. The Rogue One characters didn't go down too well, but Grievous, even Kenobi wasn't too bad with the armor piece over his chest. But I just think a lot of the more human characters weren't as great to create in that buildable fashion. At least personally, didn't really like them as much. Right. So how are we going to work these engines? We've got two engines. Could just stick them. Actually, they'd be sticking out the side of this, wouldn't they? So we could just use like use some 2x8s again. 2x8 strike back. We want the big engine in the middle, little engine on the outside, and there we go. They're the little engines there. I want to make a channel, too tired. Fair enough. It's at the start, especially trying to set everything up. Once it's set up, it's a lot easier to go with. But at the start, you do kind of need a bit of time to conk Wolfie. Got Wolfie would be fun. Time to set it all up. But and there'll be Gonk Rex, Gonk Cody. Oh, this is what Gonk Wolfie was for. Gonk Kenobi, Gonk Skywalker. Yeah, Gonk band. I feel like the little clone band down here. They've been evicted from the mini kit because I now use the mini kit. I had too many visors and wands to store in my drawer. So I've moved them over and I guess kind of upgraded them. Kind of upgraded them, kind of not upgraded them. But does this fit? Oh, the engines might be a little too close. But that's all right because we can actually connect them in with Technic pieces. If I can find a Technic piece, that is. Because that will separate them a little further. We don't want a Technic piece too close. And we might actually want to move these in. It is pronounced Wolf. That is a good point. Wolfie is how it's spelled. But I got into reading Wolf so much that I don't think we hear Wolf too much in the animated show. We can't hear it in Clone Wars because I always pronounce it Wolfie. And Tatooine. I always pronounced Tatooine. I think it was Tatooine. It was something like that. I can't remember. It was Tatooine or something like that. Because Mos Eisley, Mos Espa, Mos Pelgo, we hear. Mos Pelgo, not a lot. It's only recent. But yeah, for Wolf. Same with the 327, Star Corps. The Star Corp, or the Star Corps, Star Corp. I always say Star Corps because it's just how it's spelled, and I've read it so much. I wonder if we see any of the Chiss from the Thrawn books, how different they will be in how different they'll be pronounced compared to how I say them in my head. They're gonna be so different. Yeah, so sometimes Wolfie is pronounced Wolfie, but that is incorrect. It's a bit like Han and Han, I guess. Some people say it differently, but this time there is actually a right way, and it is Wolf. Sort of got it in the Sith Infiltrator, but that piece for Saw staff at least. Sith Infiltrator. I've jumbled that. I apologise. That piece for Saw Gerrera staff at least, kids, and swap it. Gonk Bly, Gonk 99. Definitely need a Gonk 99. That can be like the manager of the band. I'm thinking we're actually going to run out of pieces for this build. I might have gone too big, already home, went big, and we might end up with a skeleton Oh, of the Phantom. Better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure how that's gonna turn out. So that goes right up against a 1x4. I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out. That being said, I don't think we have not built anything from a stream anytime soon, so gotta start at some point. I am excited for next week. I got to get a few pieces prepared and make sure I got all the parts for the slave one, because that's gonna be Gonk Bacaro with the Gonk Galactic Marines, the Gonk Galactic Marines. Gonk Boba, definitely need a Gonk Jango. Maybe a Gonk-sized slave one. I wonder what would all Gonk transports just be squared off? It was almost like Minecraft versions, but Gonk versions of. Because that could be, it'd be pretty. That looked pretty funny. That just a squared slave one instead of all the curves. Not sure it'd look like the slave one at that point, but it's one of those if you know, you know. Let's bring you in. Oh, we could do it with 2x6s. I know we got more of them. Some light grey, some dark grey, 2 of each. Any more? No, we'll take it. All right. Light grey for the underside. And dark grey for the top side. Yeah, we're out of clones. Well, I guess we could keep going with, you know, hard case and that. But how long before we've milked it too far already? And then that's it. It's gone. When you've got Lego and Star Wars, you don't need school. You don't need girls. Just Lego and Star Wars. I don't know how we're going to connect these, because that's way too far back, isn't it? Or is it? Because we've got the fin at the back. Maybe it's not. Maybe we just need a few Technic beams, trial and error, and see where we come from. See where we come from. See what we got going. See where we come from. We came from a ghost, and now the ghost is just a ghost. Maybe we should flip it. If we flip it. I'm regretting building this so big already. Kelly can be a boy name, girl name, male name, woman name, man. I think I said man name. Basically, everyone I know has a unisex name. Did you say unisex name? And then there's a more professional term for it, but I think most names actually. Even if you look at Star Wars, you've got Luke. Luke is pretty unisex, because you've got Luke as in Lucas, Luke as in Lucille, Luke for short. You've got Leia. Oh, okay, Leia's harder to argue. Han. Kind of. Yeah, we both have unisex names. Just Lego. Lego or girls or both. Yeah, I think I realise shortening the name. Not a load of names can be shortened in general, so I've stumped myself on that. But as long as you don't trip up on that, yeah, any name can be George Lucas. George, can George be? Nah, okay, maybe George can't. Let's get some white on top. I feel like we're missing a bit of the white. All right, we need maybe a nah, that'll be all right without a Technic pin. Yeah, no one knows our government names here, unless Gonk Rex is your government name. That's, imagine having the surname Rex, let alone, you know, naming someone. But that's pretty cool. I mean, Lucas liked his name so much that he just straight up called his main character Luke. So when it comes to names, anything is possible, but I'm assuming Gonk is not your first name. Oh yeah, Commander Bricks. That's quite a good name. Commander, Captain. There's a load of ranks because you've got the Jedi Master, which is usually the Commander. Commander Cody, but then you've got Grand Commander Kenobi, because Kenobi is above Cody. So what's Kenobi? When you get a child name Gonk Rex, and better yet, already a YouTube channel with that name. So you've got that name and don't need to worry about anyone else taking that name. All right. Whatever you want to name your kid. Gonk Rex. Well, always change the surname as well to Gonk Rex Bakara or something like that. Add a little middle name in that, maybe. How many middle names? How many middle names? Probably as many as you can fit on the birth certificate. You got Rex, you got Cody, you got Bakara, you got leaked his surname. Oh, no problem. As long as you're not leaking government names of each other, no one's here gonna try and track you down. And plus, technically, his full name having that surname might not be his original name. Might be a surname that, thinking of changing it to. Building a little base. You can just see it. Building a little base down here. Anyway, with the May 4th. Speaking of names and clone troopers, May 4th promo. Do we think that the 3 clone cadets are going to be named? Because it's got. What was the leak? There was one clone, Lucky. That was it. So one of the clones is meant to be Lucky, which does show up in the Clone Wars. Not sure we see them as a cadet. Cody Rex on edible. But do you think we will get 3 named clones? A bit like the ARC 170. Did LEGO officially name the clones on the ARC 170? Because I think they were just clone pilots. Let's have a look if they name them on the website as well, because they might not on the box, but they might have them on the website. Oh, wow, I butchered that. There we go. Don't know what I was trying to spell. So on the box, they are... On the box, they're Clone Pilot Oddball, and Clone Pilot Jag. Is it Jag? Yeah, so Oddball's named, which is interesting. We've also got... Who's the other one? Should say it down here somewhere. So we got Oddball, we got Jag, and we got Clone Pilot. I guess the third one isn't named in Revenge of the Sith, which is when this is taken from. Oddball does also pop up. Jag also pops up in the Clone Wars, don't they? Both of them show up in the Clone Wars. So they had plot armor when they showed up in the Clone Wars. But will we get Lucky, another named clone, and then maybe just Clone Cadet? Clone Cadet Lucky, and Clone Cadet. That could be interesting. That would be really nice to get some named clones as well as... Because realistically, you whack on a different hairpiece, even with the same hairpiece. So many of these clones look the same that you could use them to represent each other. But also getting that one named trooper is... Well, it's really nice for LEGO to throw in there. Because we don't get, especially a load of... Well, maybe we should put some by3s in there. We don't get a load of different clone figures. In the April 8th, the Gonk Rex's birthday. A load of birthdays in March and April. Very interesting. Republic Escape Pod, which was 104th. Yeah, some Wolfpack clones. 104th in it. That'd be nice. I mean, with LEGO doing more 1 droid 2, I suppose being a Kaminoan ship, we probably won't get any droids with it. But I'd love to get that giant squid thing that we see again in the Jedi game franchise that just goes straight into Kamino, and then you've got the B2 battle droids coming out of it. I'd love to get that in LEGO. that would be a really fun Lego build. Some mechanism like with the MTT that's coming out. Hopefully that'll have a mechanism to spin and get a few clone troopers out. Is this looking like a body of a U-wing more than it is? Add another set of engines and push them back a little bit. Is this not looking a bit more like a U-wing than than a Phantom at this point? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Let's see if we can build up a wall in the front, because we've got to have some sort of support. And then I don't know if we should go about flipping the sides. What have we got there? A brick and 2 plates. Do we have 2x2s? We do. Hurrah! And then instead of plates in the middle, there we go. To section off the outside. I hope we have another 2x2 bricks. That'd have been fun if we didn't. And a battle of Camino, yes, that would. We are getting a load more clone troopers, which I really like about the Lego sets. Gonk Rex, Gonk Cody, all Gonks, Aqua Droid. Oh, the Aqua Droid would be good. The Aqua Droid was the. Oh no, that's not the B. Is that the blue B2 with like the stripe on them? Is that the Aqua Droid? No, that's not the Aqua Droid. What's the stripe variant? The Aqua Droid would be really cool to get in Lego. Might have to build one of those for a Camino mock. If we're getting, I'd like to build a little landing pad as well for the Kenobi Starfighter we got. That would go good with the Slave one. And then we can get a little interior of Camino styled after the Lego games. And yeah, the Aqua Droids would be cool. Also, I don't know what the B2s with the stripe are that I'm referencing. I don't know where I've got that from. I know that's something in Star Wars, but I couldn't tell you where that's from. Is that level there? Is that meant to be level? So that's just about level with the oh, that might be one too high. Oh, we might have to remove these. Right. Brother's birthday. See, March, April, ton of birthdays. My family birthdays are mostly in the start of the year and all, but it's surprising how many people are born at the start. Super Battle Droid with the white stripes. It might just be the Super Battle Droid with the white stripes. Don't know how I got them confused with the Aqua Droids. At last, we're in. We can't get the plate underneath. Let's add a pin between them, and that'll keep them on. Where are these going? Not there. Come on. A bit. I tell you what, I was hoping we'd get the Crab Droid with the ATTE, because that does show up in Revenge of the Sith instead of a Spider Droid. I don't know if we've ever got a Crab Droid. Maybe it's a bit too complex for Lego. I don't see that ever being a problem with the 18+ sets. But maybe it comes down to something like time. We brushed on it ever so slightly earlier about realistically, I've got as long as I want to be working on this set here and trying to make it the best I can be. Lego do have deadlines to meet, so perhaps they just don't have enough time to be making everything they want. But at the same point, with Lego, I don't think they're forcing people to put out. I think they just release the sets as they come. So I don't know, it might be a reason. I might also just be making excuses for Lego at this point, which is the last thing I want to be doing. So hopefully we get some sort of, maybe the Crab Droid saved for a different build. Maybe they haven't even thought of a Crab Droid as well, because there's only a handful of people. There are thousands of people that are leaving comments on the sets, especially over on the Reddit. So maybe it's something they genuinely haven't thought about, but I do think Lego are probably a bit more in tune than we give them credit for certain things that they do. We already have a sig fig. There you go. Profile picture sorted. Space droids. They have missions in the space attacks in the Clone Wars. The Gonk War, of course. Yeah, less than. I mean, I don't know exactly when you're arriving at the convention, but less than 24 hours. So there's a benefit. Do you know 7567? That's Rex's number. I know that anywhere. CT7567. And I was also, I couldn't tell you, I could not tell you Echo's number, but back when Clone Wars Season 7 came out, I had binged Clone Wars first episode to last like 3 times in the run-up. So as soon as I remembered, like, I'd say a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of CT numbers, like Wolf's, Fives, Echo, Rex, and Cody, maybe a handful of other clones. So as soon as we heard that over the communications, or the code that was being looped, as soon as we heard that, I knew exactly what was going down, and that got me so excited for Season 7. Since 2022, ATETE set did lead up some controversial. I mean, it has been with the arms. We've got Fives and Rex now with printed arms. I think the fact that they didn't have printed arms, it might have been before that. Fair enough. We've also got, this is just with Cody. The Cody minifigure ain't half bad, but we've got the head and hair, which should have been included because we did get it for Mando for the D&D. And again, they're a bit more recent, but I'm sure there are examples from 2022. We've also, as far as minifigures, I don't think there were any other problems with the figures, but the build itself, people wanted to fit an AT-RT in the back, like with the other play features. Even the gunship, the crab droid, I think was an easy swap out, especially because it's what shows up in the movie. But even with the gunship, the fact that it couldn't open up at the front, which I've seen on this is like a 2002 gunship, I think it was, that opens up at the front. Really cool feature. It would have been nice to have got something like that brought back in with these later sets from earlier sets. If Rex was 7567, it means he was the 7,567th clone to be cloned. I would accept that. I think that sounds right. It makes sense. Yeah, because you got Clone Troopers, which is CT, and then they moved to different designations after that. I think I'd accept that. We know Rex was at the first Battle of Geonosis, thanks to, it was like a book or an aside in something that I've read. Sometimes a droid army treated unfairly in some sets before LEGO brought back super battle droids. Droids were outnumbered. Yeah, droids have been outnumbered, I think, even before the 2020 battle pack, the 501st, the famous battle pack, the blue battle pack. But I think they're getting more to balance now. I don't think we'll ever really see when droids are in the lead, but I think if they released the droid carrier last year as a set, LEGO released it as a May 4th gift with purchase, and people bought loads anyway. Okay, that was quite a good move, because then loads of people had to hit the threshold multiple times. That's smart. I got to hand it to LEGO. That might be smart. In a Star Wars encyclopedia, I've probably read it in a Star Wars encyclopedia. That's where I saw about the Battle of Geonosis. Makes sense. 7,500. There was a lot of clones in Attack of the Clones. Definitely into the thousands, 10,000s, millions. Wait, 200,000 with a million, well more on the way. Is that the quote? So there must have been at least 200,000 of them. Wow. CT7567 was the 7,000th of 200,000. Wow. That is a lot of clone troopers. And with the 501st being the best of the best, a lot of those are early gens. So it makes sense we wouldn't see any that were more than 4 or 5 digits. It's a lot of clones though. That is a lot of clones. Wow. Never thought of it like that. Right, let's seal up this front bit. What have we got? What hinges have we left ourselves? We got some white ones, some blue ones. Let's see if we can nab any more blue ones. There's got to be another one. We've got one white. Oh no, there you go. 2 blue. All right, we're gonna stick with the blue theme for the base of this Phantom. Minifigure scale, really, I mean, minifigure scale for this is massive, but I never expected any minifigure scale ship to just blow me away like this one has. This one has been as much as a challenge as any of them. At least we got the space for our 4 seats in the cockpit. But this doesn't feel like the Phantom. This feels, I'm not sure what ship it feels like, mind you. It feels non-Phantom-y, that's for sure. Right, what have we got? We could raise it a little bit, but I want to see if we've got any more 4x. We got that one. Anything more? We could layer a bunch of these, to be fair. It feels like a sort. It's getting hotter, and I don't think it's been feeling too bad actually. At least not here in the UK. Doesn't usually get too hot at this point, but as soon as it starts getting hot, I don't know how I'm going to be able to continue with these streams, because it gets really, really hot. Once you're not on the ground floor, and once you've got, you know, a few other rooms below you that are pushing heat up, it gets so hot so quickly. All right, what I can do with this, but fans help quite a bit. Fans help quite a bit. So if you are struggling in the heat, whack on a fan. Here's a band known as a Gonk Band, and then it's the Gonk Trooper Band. The Gonk Trooper Band. It's Rex and who else were we adding to it? A lot of them. 2x4s. Anything special on the front? It's a bit slopey. So a bit slopey. Let's layer it up. Do we still have that 4x4 from earlier? No. Did we use it? We might have used it. Let's use this one instead. There we go. Layering up the front of it to give it some shape. We must have another one of these somewhere. Nope, that's a 3x. Ooh. If we got different angles. No, maybe that doesn't work as well. But here we have the base of the Phantom. That's a block. That's not a Phantom. That is a Gonk Phantom, if I've ever seen one. And then we've got, oh wait, missing a piece, missing a plate. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. Hopefully, here you are. And then we bridge that. Can for now. This top bit sits just. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't sit there at all. It's 2 plates too low. So, what can we do? Well, we can get this door finished off with these. That ups it a plate. And then we've got the 2x2s. Hurrah! Hurrah! And then we've got some those plates. Not sure what we're going to clip there yet. I will find something. A load of different coloured variants of these as well. Really want to learn the whole Scandinavian languages. I've tried learning a language, and yeah, I don't think I'll be learning languages anytime soon. That's in for a penny, in for a pound. 30th of March in 7 minutes. So 2 hours, 7 minutes. That means you are 2 hours in the future at the minute. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 2 hours. That's time travel right there. Don't need a time machine. Just need YouTube. Very basic time travel, but nonetheless, it's technically time travel. And we will take every technicality we can when it comes to time travel, because we need it. We definitely need it. We might only have one of them in light grey. Might have to switch it up to dark grey. But I can't find where I put the dark grey pieces now. Shouldn't have let them go. Right, there is somewhere. I think the next colour I find, I'm going to use that. And if another one does exist, we can swap it out later on. Here we go. Because that can get some controls up in the top of this cockpit region. Something like that, if it was a Falcon. And this sits just there. Look at that, we got the body of this ship ready to go. What I could do is hide. No, that hasn't hidden it. Is hide. There we go. Hide the ship just behind it. So this is the part we're working on now, just ahead of it. Started at 9 p.m. That's commitment. 9 through till midnight. I tried to do 7. I feel like maybe starting a bit earlier and doing a bit of a longer stream, especially if we're playing some games, could be fun. But right now, that is seemingly impossible for me. So we're going to take what we've got. We could knot that in. But I think we're going to have to call it a day in a couple minutes. I don't think we're going to get much more of this built. I think a bit of more than we could chew. But we had fun, and that is what counts. Looks like the Phantom is massive. I'm going to have a little look to see if we've got... If anyone's tackled this, if anyone's built a mock and actually it survived and, you know, made it to a minifigure scale Phantom. Because it's definitely possible, but with this limited amount of pieces, I don't think. Plus, if the Phantom looks this big, how big's the Ghost? How big is the Ghost that sits below it? That's crazy. We are... Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Never say never. Can't say that. I built both Rex and Cody. Profile picture changing to and stand off. Fair enough. Just have a Gonk Rex, a Gonk Cody, and a Gonk. Yeah, you could Gonk everyone, I guess. We've done quite a few on the channel, but you really can. You should create Gonks of everyone. Can we feel this is feeling more U-wing? The more I start, I guess. It's not U-wing, is it? I think it's kind of certain things are U-wing. Maybe it just needs 2 giant wings out the front. And then there we go. Maybe it is U-wing. It's feeling something. It's feeling not very Phantom. Would be a cool ship though to get. Not the Phantom, but this model in Star Wars. The 3D Funko Pop display. If you made the whole thing, yeah, I did kind of lead on that short. So the base is 3D printed. Pretty snazzy, to be fair. It fits alongside the rest of them. It's been up on display here, and you can see how it 3D printed without any supports is also a little beyond me, because I kept thinking, I watched the whole thing print, and I was sure at some point it would just fail because of how it's printed. Parts of it are just being printed in thin air, but I guess the printer's good enough to need not worry about it, which is nice going forward with smaller overhangs. But yeah, I didn't end up 3D printing the whole thing. Maybe one day. There was a few different droids that have been 3D printed, not by me, but I've seen the models out there. Maybe one day we'll start 3D printing our own, but I think for now 3D printing Lego is dangerous enough. Right, cockpit. Let's Do we have 4 of these? 1, 2, 3. Come on, where's the 4th one? Have I already nicked the 4th one? Did I use it? Did I need it for a mock or something? Have I got a 4th one in here? No, I don't seem to. Maybe I have just completely misplaced one, but at the very least we can make this look somewhat presentable. And and probably secure it a bit more actually with these clips, because we've got some more white ones. So that there, this will secure it on there, and then the same on the other side. Add a phase 1 clone trooper helmet, a big one or a Lego one, because I mean, either way, actually, an old Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet would be quite nice to have. I guess a big one would be probably preferred. Just a little bit. But either way, just one little... Oh, look, here we go. This is the piece. Found it. Just before we wrap it up, let's whack this in there. That on there, just to close up the middle. Oh, is that not... Oh, we could go one more out. Right, let's stretch it. Go one more out on either side. Make sure it's nice and secure. Not that this is feeling much secure, mind you. And then another one on the front. And make sure these are still connected. Are they able to connect? Yeah, there you go. Nope, that's fallen. There we... Something's not right. Oh, this back one's a little too long. Happy 30th of March. We're not there yet. Almost 30th of March. But there we go. I really don't know. This started off as some... Oh, they're not on the same... That's why it's wonky. These aren't on the same level. Right. We're not done yet. I don't know how many times I've said that now. But there we go. Now it's straightened up. We've got this front. We've got... Is this looking more like a submarine? Can we cover some of the back portions? I feel like this is looking a bit more like a submarine. Well, more and more with every piece we add onto it, but also generally speaking, it's given the vibes of a submarine, and I'm not entirely sure what vibes they are. What vibes does a submarine have? But there's something about it that's just very submarine-esque. Get that the other way around. Run out of internet or end the stream. We will be ending the stream in just a second, but first off, we might not have built the Phantom, and we might not have a minifigure scale Phantom at that, but we do have whatever this ship is, and it's not half bad. So this is the size of the Phantom. You can see we've got the boarding ramp out the back, and then we've got all of this on top. We could build a fin. All right, let's not sell ourselves short here. We can still build a fin on top of this Phantom. So we've got some 2x4s. We are out of most of the slopes, but we also have some 3x6s. Let's see how we can connect this. So we've got 1x4. Let's use some of these. We want them front and back, nice and secure connections. And then, do we have any more 4s? Let's make sure we've got a wide enough fin first. Make sure we're not selling ourselves short. Maybe even use these 2x4s to give us space for more. And then another 2x4. Right, 1, 2. I think we'll run out of 3x3s at this point. And then, oh no, we could use some 2x3s instead. But I think if that's coming in with a 2x3, if we have one. I thought we'd have one. I don't think. Yes, we do. We do have a few actually. So we'll need a corner plate. I don't know why I feel like I'm against the clock. And then we've got boom, boom. Put that about the back. Oh yeah. Oh no, that won't work, will it? Will it? One last 2x4, 2x3, little decorated one. I know we do still have some more pieces. How wide can we make this fit? Let's push the limit. And then we've got Is there a 1x3 plate? There is. Is there any Lego plate that will hold them? I guess technically. Oh yeah, we could reinforce it on the back, can't we? All right, and now let's try and put this together without crushing the whole thing. Maybe removing these whilst we can take this off there. There we go. Can't wait for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me and for you is today for Gunk Rex, I think. Still waiting for the UTAT set. Non-gamble bet. We called Clone Snowtrooper. Yeah, trademark reasons, always have to get around those. And with a little bit of cheeky, I mean, it's a legal technique. Lego have used it, but it doesn't mean we have to like it. It's not a very liked legal technique. Can we fill up some of the empty gaps? What have we got? What have we got to work with? Some 2x4s would be nice, like these. Just slotted in there. Any other 2x4s? Any ones that don't have... Oh, the orange. Yes, we wanted to get some orange on the mock. That's the best time to do it. Anything else? Some of the 2x8s, maybe we can slot them in. Do we have any longer pieces like this? As we don't need them for the ship. Can't wait what happens today. Yeah, it's past midnight, don't worry. If I was staying up that late, I would definitely lose track of what day it was. And then, there we go. We'll secure the front ones more. Final piece on the back. All right, we've got the roof covered. We've got the fin. Oh, we wanted it to hang over 2 studs, didn't we? Can't forget that. There we go, hanging over 2 studs. And planted firmly in. Placed on top, locked in. Placed on top? It does fit. Had a little worry then. Locked in with not just 1, not just 2, but I found an extra one. So we're now going to go with 3 of these pieces, which will seal up the front. And it's not the Phantom. This is the Phantom at home. We don't need the Phantom. We have the Phantom at home. Ah, building Lego seems to be taking the cake here. If you're tired, I would still recommend building Lego. I mean, falling asleep on Lego, you might wake up with like a few bricks, caught on a few brick marks. But if you can push through, definitely build Lego. Always build Lego. If you can opt in to build Lego for sure. The cockpits are not covering this whatsoever. But let me know in chat which one you'd rather be flying. This measly little Phantom build, or we can't call it the Phantom. Minecraft, all right, I know a few of you play Minecraft out there. Minecraft have phantoms that come haunt you when you sleep. It's actually a little bit creepy. If you don't sleep for 3 days, they'll just chase you down and just swoop in like vultures. But they also have a giant mob of the underground called the Warden. If this is the Phantom, then this is the Warden. The Warden, you make a sound, it's there. It is attacking you. I'm not sure this is the Warden of Star Wars ships, but for the sake of it, This is the Warden. Maybe we can even add a little turret. Look, get some weapons. Oh, we do need the weapons for the Phantom, actually. What can we use as weapons? Are there any non-Technic bricks that we can make use of as weapons? We could add some like little weapons here and there, couldn't we? We'll have the same weapons. All right, we got clips and communicators on the original Phantom. Let's see if we can mimic that. No, we can make this a bit more impressive. Alright, Technic pins do have, well, they kind of fit. Oh, they fit pretty securely, actually. They fit bars inside of them, which means by pairing them up like we have, we probably could have even gone bigger with these. I'm pretty sure we had a few communicators, not just one or two of them. There were a few a second ago. Might have to nab one from the Phantom here. Oh, is that piece 3 or is that piece 4? Have we dropped 4 pieces now? Not bad for a 3-hour stream, but to round it off, we've got the weapons, one on either side. There you go, Phantom or the Warden, you pick. I'm going for the Warden. It looks like a KFC bucket of fun. Genuinely could fit like 4 or 5 wings in the front end, let alone the back. Meant to fit 4 people in the front, 8 people in the back. We can fit like 40 clones in this if we were testing it, but it might not have been a successful Phantom build, but we still had fun talking about the leaks. And I'm so excited for May 4th. There are going to be quite a few more streams popping up. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for everyone joining with talking about Lego, Star Wars, Eurovision, and more. And I'll see you next week for building the Slave 1 Django style before the UCS set comes out. Until then, may the bricks be with you always.